Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if issei betrayed after using Juggernaut Drive and met Great Red Part 2? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the RUINEDDRAGONARMY for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Here we see the other teams such as Sona and Tsubaki along with Kiba handling one of the serpent copies. Damn, this thing is just as strong as last time. Maybe we should try a new approach, Tsubaki said as Kiba struck the serpent, and Sona saw a slight scratch on its scales which gave her an idea. Tsubaki, I got a plan, I need your help, get your gear ready, Sona said as Tsubaki nodded. Sona then flew towards the serpent, and yelled, Kiba, I need you to get gear ready to strike this thing at full power, trust me. Sona yelled as Kiba got ready after backing up to build up his power in one sword burst. Hey lizard breath, over here, Sun yelled, getting the beast's attention before turning around to Tsubaki and firing a large ice serpent, while yelling, now Tsubaki, Kiba, do it. As her ice blast was reflected with mirror Alice, and Sona dodged last second as the serpent jumped at Sona with wild fury, as it was struck by the doubled ice dragon, freezing it instantly. Kiba then rushed at the frozen beast and had a silver aura around him and his sword as he said, well, I was going to save this for Issei or Serorg, but I guess you're first, serpent, he said, rushing at the beast, and his blade was full of power. Sword birth, united blade, Kiba yelled as his speed increased as his sword merged with a aura version of all Hus swords wrapped in holy and devil power but in a silver glow of his pride as a knight. Kiba yelled as his speed increased as his sword merged with a aura version of all Hus swords wrapped in holy and devil power but in a silver glow of his pride as a knight. Picture this sword but as the base and a sword aura as tall as the serpent glowing, but instead of making Kiba slow it makes him twice as strong and fast. Now die by my blade, Kiba yelled as he with one swing of his sword he destroyed the ice-sealed serpent to nothing but small ice cubes, to Sona's shock and making Tsubaki blush. POV Team Saji. With Saji, he is currently taking on one of the copies as he used all Hus gears, wrapping it in his dark flames. Hey Saji, need help? A Y voice asked as Saji turned and saw Kuroka and Kaneko, who finished off the rest of the ice giants. No thanks. Well, maybe if lose control, I want this to be training for my balance breaker, but since I don't have one YWT, I will use this to grow stronger like my brother and rival Issei Hayato, Saji announced as Sona turned from her location and heard him due to the communication circle, making her be amazed by Saji's declaration to grow stronger, not for her but for himself. Saji then glowed purple as a dragon appeared behind him. Saji, are you ready to this, lizards? Asked my partner. Vritra spoke with pride and joy for his partner after his speech and dreamed to become strong for something other than the Citri girl. Hell yeah, Vritra. Self-Vritra promotion, Saji yelled as he threw the snake and merged with Vritra. However, sorry partner, but this will hurt a lot or just tire you out afterwards, but this will show me your. No, our goal will be reality. Vritra spoke as he wrapped around Saji in flames as a explosion of flames occurred on to reveal a being wrapped in aura and fire slowly walking out of the blinding purple light. So this was what you meant, thanks Vritra. Saji spoke as he walked out of the light only to shock Sona, Kuroka and Kaneko. This is Saji's new form. It's as a 0% balance breaker but more a flame breaker form. Basically a dark flame and half balance breaker armor. I think I will call this Dragon's Dark Flame Armor, Resolve of Light's Flaming Shadow. Let me know what you think. Saji won't have balance breaker for a while though, I'm afraid. So you ready, you ugly fool? Saji spoke to the serpent as it roared with rage. Saji, careful, we can only hold this form for 0 minutes without needing to drain your life energy. This is the step before balance breaker, so let's show Drake and Albion who we are, Vritra said as Saji smiled as he summoned fire in his right hand along with the adsorption line, but he then lit it on fire and focused until it became a purple and silver blade wrapped in flames on his wrist and attached to the line, and held it in his hand. Eternal Blade of Prison's Shadow. Let me know of the name. It is basically a infinite sword that is like a hook or wire connected to it, and if it breaks it reattaches and goes back to the wrist. It also is like Majin View by extending infinitely. Okay beast, let me show you what serpent is. Saji lets out as he shows his devil wings and runs at the serpent, making Kaneko think of Issei vs Riser while looking at him now. Saji charged at the serpent, dodged its tail as he flew above the beast, and then blasted it with black flames, binding it like snakes, but it only binded the mouth. Saji, what are you doing? Vritra asked, confused by hitting the mouth, not the body. Well, the mouth and tail is the weapon and the body is defense, so getting rid of one weapon while burning the skin so I can make a weak point could work. Saji said, using brain in this fight for the better by knowing the weaknesses of last time they met the beast. The beast just roars as it breaks, the flame binds and fire spreads around it. However, it lunges at Saji with its tail, however it is blocked with a barrier of ice. While close call, who did that? Saji asked, seeing the circle in confusion. Saji, I will not let you die, so get your head in the game. Saji turned to see Sona yelling at him with a blush and hands out holding up the circle. Thanks Sona, I needed that. Now Vritra, let's kill this thing. Saji said, shocking Sona because it was the first time Saji called her by name. Usually it's president, or my king. She didn't have any feelings before, but she could have sworn her heart skipped a beat. Okay, big and ugly, eat this. Saji yelled as he flew up towards the serpent's mouth and extended his blade and wrapped it in flames. Prison curse flames! Saji roared as his left hand shot fire the flames at the beast, and his blade went wild, cutting while it was flaming as well, cutting each scales and trapping it, making it unable to move while Saji attacked. However, part of it was bleeding due to the cursed flames burning its insides. Now to finish you off! Saji yelled as he dives at the beast and went inside it, and suddenly flames appeared through the ground and Saji flew out of them. Too, I would say. Picture that as Saji cutting through the beast, and when he puts his blade away, aka Saji turns his off, the beast cuts in half and bursts in flames. Saji, how the hell did you do that? Soja asked as the cat sisters leave and Saji calms the flames. Well, Sona, I faints. Saji then pasted out and the gear turned off. With Vritra saying, Citri, he used all his power with the blade and the flames. He drained his time too much, so now he is out of magic. Lucky him, he didn't lose life force, but now he must read. Vritra says before going to sleep himself. Sigh Saji, thank goodness you're okay. Sona says to herself as she picks up her pawn and takes watches as the rest of the fight goes on. POV Kai. In Asgard we see Kai dodge and jumping the pups and Fenrir, and he lets out his aura in his tail to knock them back. Damn, I don't want to hurt them, but how do I free them? Vala put his trust in me, I need to prove myself. Kai says as Jay thinks of his new family, and then remembers something. Wait, Dad, didn't Loki force Fenrir obey him? Because if so, what's with the collar? Kai asked his dad as he dodges Fenrir and summons Graham to help in the fight. Son, I think you're right, trust yourself and reach for a new dream, soon you'll need it, a goal. Lord Abaddon said in his own by being proud of his son as Kai smirked, knocking the dogs back with his power. I who shall rise from the name destruction, bathed in the name my tomorrow and my own power. I stand here, TP, reach my path as none before. As the Deegan and devil blood in me shines, I shall be the one who shall the next king, chaos knight of potential. Kai roars while spreading his 8 wings, but only have be dragon. He merges with them as he then shines in silver light, as we see Kai in a black and silver armor with his Abaddon crest on one hand and a dragon crest on the other, while the center is his own chaos knight of potential. Kai roars while spreading his 8 wings, but only have be dragon. He merges with them as he then shines in silver light, as we see Kai in a black and silver armor with his Abaddon crest on one hand and a dragon crest. The armor of Kai's warrior side bathed in his dragon power, but overpowers by devil pride and merged just like his soul. The Abaddon AMD dragon mark, Choas mark, Abaddon crest. Okay dogs, let's play. Kai says, getting in a fighting stance. As Graham is speechless by Kai's new power but yet is ready to battle, as the pups and Fenrir hesitated, but after a whimper from Fenrir and lightning striking his neck, he went in rage and rushed at Kai with him not even dodging. The dog growled and went to bite Kai, however Kai used his fixed eyesight to see burns on Fenrir. As Fenrir went to bite down on him, Kai dodged last second and used Graham and his dragon and destructive power to strike at the silver collar. Freedom's pack slash. Kai yelled as Graham and the aura struck the collar and Fenrir, sending him towards the pups at incredible speed, and after there was a sudden explosion from the location he sent them, as Kai then turned off the twin potential armor and slowly walked towards the pack of dogs. As the smoke cleared, we see the pups okay and Fenrir still gant but back to being calm. It worked, that attack freed you from your curse, Fenrir. Kai said in joy as a being in white armor appeared behind him. You saved them. Thanks Kai, I owe you one. Kai turns to see Vala turning off his rebirth drive but suddenly falling on one knee, making Kai and Fenrir run to him. Vala, drop Loki now and take this, hurry. Kai yelled in a panic as he took out his Phoenix tear from the game that Rias doesn't have. Hers issei grabbed it last second when he missed Loki. He didn't want the god being able to heal. Vala drinks the tear and gains back all his magic and stamina he lost from the drive. Thanks Kai, guess I owe you too? Vala said in confusion, not used to thanking someone. Don't worry about the tears, I can't let a fellow dragon and Satan die now, can I? Kai said, making the two laugh while thinking how issei doing. POV Rasviavsa, Cat Sisters, Rainier Gasper and Aquino versus the main serpent. As everyone else finished off the copies, Rasviavsa and the fallen hybrids were having trouble with the main version. The most damage they have done to it was Aquino's lightning merging with two flaming light spears of Raynar's, causing 2 open wounds, but not enough for bleeding, however, was causing heat to build up, weakening the scales slowly. Take this back off, everybody, Rasviavsa warned as she built up 0 Norse cannon-like circle loaded with magic energy strong enough to kill a pup of Fenrir or 000 frost giants. Now enjoy oblivion, you over reptile. Rasviavsa yelled as the 0 circles fired over blast of magic a second, and she kept going for a couple minutes until all circle broke, and her arms gave out as she was exhausted. Sigh how. W. was. *pen* that I count about 00 blasts from each circle, haha. Rasviavsa said as she then collapsed and was falling to the ground, but the serpent was still alive and jumped out of the smoke about to eat Rasviavsa. Rainier and Aquino tried to stop it with magic, but it still rushed at her, and right as it jumped at the falling Valkyrie, suddenly it froze mid-jump and ate away just as someone grabbed Rasviavsa and put her near Asia. The two fallens looked to see what happened, and to their amazement and shock it was Gasper who froze the beast and who punched it away, along with Kaneko, who ed in a one-tail state with dragon aura, and looked to see who placed Rasviavsa near Asia was Kuroka. The 2 fallen hybrids fly to the ground, talked to Kaneko and Gasper. Thanks for the help, you two, Reina said with a smile. Era Gasper, you got so strong you're not that scared little vamp anymore, Aquino said with joy as a tear rolled down her face as Kaneko hugged her. I feel the same way about him, Aquino, we all are proud of you, Gaspai, Kaneko said, making the half-vampire smile and feel happy about his newfound strength. Hey guys, sorry to stop the touching moment, but the snake is back. It lost some scales, but it's back and pissed, Rainier told the 3 as the serpent rushed at the 4 from miles away as they entered a battle stance until Bind of Asgard's might now freeze demon. A old and wise voice of power spoke, stopping the battlefield as chains of thunder and ice locked the serpent and send it to Asgard with the Bifrost. As the smoke cleared, everyone sees Odin where the serpent stood. It's alright, younglings, the serpent is back in the universe tree connecting the realms. Now we roar for the 3 dragons to return. The mighty Allfather spoke with pride on the battlefield, waking up Saji and Rasviavsa with his speech as they wait the others. POV issei, while all the battles of Vala, Kai, Team Gremory, Citri, and the others, we see issei's copy in a balance breaker flying with Rias towards the dimensional gap as Rias hears a roar from behind them. Let my Rias Gremory go, you copy! Issei yells as claws his copy away from Rias, but not before Issei is shot by POD from the copy. Issei, stay back please, starts to cry, Loki, link me to the copy, I can't fight back, he is draining my magic, I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. Rias cries as she lets out more magic as the clone drains it from a destruction lifeline to Rias's demons. That's it, I will take you down, Issei roared as he rushed the copy, who did the same as both their armors were breaking from the power of Dragon God and destruction. The copy fired a dragon shot mixed with POD point blank at Issei, who took it head on as both him and the fake were damaged, but Rias then screamed in pain as her magic was drained and the clone was healed. You can't beat me, weakling dragon, the clone spoke in an altered voice. Oh yeah, well, try this, Issei said as he turned off his balance breaker and summoned Drake and Askelin. Rias, I need you to trust me. I may have found out the truth, but we both were pain and alone, and Issei then boosted 000 times over his limit. You're my Rias, and you're better than this. I may not be your pawn in the house, but I will always be your pawn. Your dragon. You're Issei and you're my ruined princess, my Rias. I fought Riser for you, and I fight anyone for you without a reward, but the only thing I wish is you now snap out of that chain and be free from that copy, Issei yelled, making Rias smile as she stopped giving magic by fighting the clone, pissing it off. How dare you, bitch, you feel nothing else. The copy spoke before getting punched by Issei. Hey copy dragon, eat this Issei roared as Drake spoke. Transfer blade of the heart's freedom. Now partner ass, Drake said as he transferred power to Askelin and Issei's hand as he cut through the clone's right arm and stopped the magic flow completely, shocking both the clone and Rias as Issei then grabbed Rias, freeing her from the cage. Hey Red, miss me? Issei asked, holding a red glowing pawn piece that took in all the magic. Issei, is that your? Rias asked, finding out and shocked that Issei used his old pawn piece he took from the orc building to save him and her. Yep, the same thing that linked me to you saved us now. Issei then turned to copy with both gears out and his aura matching a beast of true power. Now that Rias is free, I won't hold back against a fake of a dragon like you. He roared as Hus' black marks were gone and became a new set of wings as Issei showed dragon wings and devil, but then more devil appeared, one being red and black, the same as when he first met Rias. Suddenly, and two more dragon wings formed, silver and red with black on the outside like his devil wingle, while the inside and sides were silver and red, as he finally is free from his limits and sorrow, as he knows he is the dragon god of soul and resolve, along with hope, and to others who cross him the wrong way he is their nightmare. I am who is forever in the soul of tomorrow and domination, as I walk down the blood-stained path of purgatory. The sun sets as my rage burns, roaring within domination's name, and my own dream of a tomorrow where I will surpass all. I give away my fortitude into an inferno nightmare to those who wrong me, no fear as the sun sets. Nightmare dragon of dusk, Welsh dusk, ultimate king breaker of the prison creeping nightmares. Picture a glowing emerald, red and black aura spread like wildfire around Issei, forming his powerful new state, surpassing the juggernaut drive and any power even Great Red could have, as his cape formed the color red from flame like his blood, his brother, and the woman he wants as his first wife, and who healed him from heartbreak. I'm finally getting rid of my mistakes, which is you and the juggernaut drive, making me feel only rage, you carbon copy. Issei spoke with anger, as he then saw the copy feel fear and Rias was holding on tight to him. Picture Issei asking Drake and Red to play this in the background so he can get hyped. As this goes on and Issei let out his new form, the center of it where a gem lays is his pawn piece from old, holding on to that bond. While everyone finishes their fights, they could feel Issei's power go beyond that of a Mao, even a god's. It was felt everywhere. Kai and Vala felt pride in their brother and rival, same with Saji, Kiba, and Gasper. While everyone else was shocked by the power Issei had locked within him, he truly is the greatest Red Dragon Emperor in history, all the leaders thought. Time for you to die. The copy roared as he entered Juggernaut Drive. Issei, be careful please, Rias said in worry, as he turned to her. No need to worry, I got this, he said as he built up power in his fist, forming a black and red sphere in both hands with emerald around them. Eat this, you freak, I will end you for good. Welsh Dragon twin cannon dragon buster shot. Issei, Draged and Great Red yelled as a blast of power fired at the clone, who shot back with his own attack as the beams collided. Instead of an impact, Issei's blast rippies right through the blast, and the clone as all that was left was a head, and Isu rushed at the copy's head and used Ascalon to turn it to ash with one strike as he then put the blade away. Okay, let's go back to others, my Rias, Issei said, making her go quiet as she was still guilty. As Issei then flew them to Kai and Vala in his new form in less than 0 seconds. POV Vala. Hey Kai, stop playing with the pups, Vala said as Kai was petting both the dogs as they saw him as a master and kind person. Sorry Vala, but I think these two will join my team once I find a way to turn back and forth from dog to human, Kai says as a red flare appears to be Issei and Rias, waking up Loki and making him go on the offense. Damn it, you're still alive, dragon, then I will kill you now, dogs, get him, Loki said as nothing happened. Sorry Loki, the pups like me, not a weakling who does nothing, and Fenrir was always Vala's because he freedom and power, something you know nothing of, Kai said in a smart-ass tone as he then felt dragon energy inside Rias to his surprise. You foolish dogs, I will. Ugh. Before Loki could do anything, Vala and Issei both punched him, leaving a blood mark on his chest, and the impact destroyed his arm, making him be knocked unconscious to the enjoyment of the dragons. Well, ready to go back home, guys? Issei asked as Vala and Fenrir grabbed his shoulder to be ready to leave as Kai stood with pups taking out his pieces. By the name of Kai Abaddon, become my pawns, Kai said, taking out mutated pawns and giving to each dog as they accepted them and joined his house. Okay, Kai, next time tell me you're doing that, hurry and come on, we need to move, Issei said, shocked by Kai getting pawns. Kai then ran to Issei with the pups and they all left with him through a circle. POV hell. Everyone waited at the summit hall waiting for Issei and the others, while the mouse Surzex was worried for Issei and his sister until a circle appeared summoning Kai, Vala and the dogs. With everyone happy, but when they didn't see Issei or Rias, Kai went to whisper to Surzex, don't worry my king, the marriage is set with a dragon and devil in the bed with a head start, Kai said with a smile, making Surzex happy. The wedding is back on, and everyone partied and told old stories about Issei and who he is now, with Kai almost getting sick from hearing his sensei's old perverted actions, while others laughed. And Odin asked Rosviavsa to stay with Team Rias because she already seems like part of the team, as he sends Odin to Asgard. POV Issei and Rias. Lemon warning. Lemon has been removed. Red stories to no lemon. issei Rias went through S circle into his room at the Haida house, and as soon they arrived, issei pushed Rias on the bed, saying, I may have lost my virginity to Rainier, but I keep my premises. After all, dragons can have more than one mate and wife, and Rainier didn't mark me, but I will mark you, my ruined devil. Issei said, biting of Rias' clothing, making Rias happy as she grabbed his hand and marked his palm as Gremory. Issei said, biting of Rias' clothing, making Rias happy as she grabbed his hand and marked his palm as Gremory. Right on the palm that Issei gave for Rias' freedom. Hey, now don't mark without me. Issei teased as he marked Rias on his favorite place, aka her tender, making the princess moan as her mark formed. Issei, I'm sorry for everything. I would have helped you then, but what I did is no excuse. Rias said as tears formed and Issei brushed them away. Rias, I hid my heart then too. I said I wanted a harem, but I wanted love, and you wanted a pawn, but you wanted the same. We both didn't know who to trust or what to do, so please don't blame yourself and be the strong king I know and trained to protect what you love. Issei said, making Rias happy as she pushed him to the bed, making him go red. Oh, sorry, did I eat my meal too early, Rias? Issei teased as the two enjoyed their time. Plus, excuse me, have any food? Yelled a hungover Crimson Dragon. No, Crimson. Sorry guys, we celebrated both our stories growing thanks to you, and he had much of the I stole from Azazel. So it was. Yelled Azazel. How many people will interrupt me? Shit it, Crow, you hid in my cave, so you owe me. Plus, if I can talk, I'm going to show you a new warrior. New warrior? They both said in shock. Yes, now welcome Shallot's story. POV in the Underworld Hall. Everyone was having fun after with Loki, however, after Issei let his power, it summoned the very person he wanted to fight. As a crimson rift appears, a male with spiky black hair and blue armor with black cloth under them. How am I here? Last I checked I was with Giblet on the lookout, so weird. Oh well, asterisk sniff asterisk, is that food? The unknown man says as he runs into the hall, seeing so many people, and he sensed demonic and holy and mixed ki along with normal ki, but on top of that they smelled off? How so many people are gonna talk about it later, need food. The man said as he ran to the food half the table. Excuse me sir, what are you doing? A guard asked. Eating what? Does it look like I've been fighting for the past few floors, so I'm hungry? The man said as the guards tried to stop him. The man grabbed the guard and threw him through the wall, shocking everyone. My name's Shalot, by the way. The man, now known as Shalot, said as Surzex walked up to him. Excuse me, Mr. Shalot, was it you can eat, but may I talk with you? Surzex asked, confusing Shalot. Sure, he said as the two walked to a table. So may I ask, how did you get here? Surzex asked as Shalot ate plate after plate. Well, I came from Camus Lookout, and suddenly a red rift with powerful energy I think a dragon? Teleported me here. Shalot said as Surzex then understood Issei's new power-up summoned him. Okay, next, what house are you from? Surzex asked, which shocked Shalot. House? I am a scion. No house, I just travel. Why? Shalot asked, making Surzex get serious. Shalot, you entered a new reality different from your own, and I don't think you can go back, but we will try to help you get home or find on, because you are the first scion in this world ever. Surzex said, shocking Shalot, but he continued to eat. Surzex said, shocking Shalot, but he continued to eat. Okay. I understand asterisk munch swallow asterisk, can I at least get a place to sleep tonight before we figure stuff out? Shalot said, which Surzex agreed to. Also, my race eats a lot due to us being warriors who get stronger every fight and near death, and we have tails because we become apes by looking at the full moon along with other form, basically giving us a power multiplier. Shalot explained each form from ape to SSJ and God, which Surzeka understood but got shocked by his new, but he got happy thinking. Issei, I found a new member of your family. He thought as the two talked at the table as Graphia sat a place for Shalot to sleep. That's all, now you two get out of my cave so I can work, you fools, or I will call Tiamat too. Then the two ran. After a long day of battle against the god Loki, and love making for Issei and Rias, everyone can rest as life finally is right. Here at Abaddon Estate, Kai got from his father's will and rights. We see Vala, Baiku, and Ortha with Fenrir watching in through the garden window. Man, this place is big, Baiku stated. Of course it is, it's a devil estate, right, Vala? Arthur spoke to Vala, but Vala was looking in the window in shock as he saw a tired Kai in a blue tank top and boxers with the Abaddon logo on them waking up from bed and in the kitchen feeding the pups of Fenrir. As the three listened in on what Kai was saying. Here we go, you two, Kai said, giving 2 bowls of dog food and water as he leaned down to pet them as they ate. If you don't like that, I can try cooking you some food. What should name you two? He pandered while the pups looked confused, never being named until he came up with two names. I got how about Finn and Fenris you two, Kai said, making the two happy. How is he a Satan he acts so happy? Vala thought out loud, getting Kai's attention. Vala? Why are you and whoever those two are along with Fenris spying on me through my kitchen window? Kai asked sarcastically as he let group in to talk. Well Kai, first I wanted to say and glad you're a dragon along with the devil, it's like we're the same you and I. AMD too, whereas Kuroka we haven't anywhere. Vala asked, making Kai feel fear. Shit of Monkey Man and Knight, can you help get Finn and Fenris out so they don't see them? Kai said in panic as the two were confused, but like on right on K a little black cat came downstairs. Yon Naya Hun Chiron is still asleep, so I thought I asked about last night? Kuroka said, wearing a black shirt, most likely from Kai's dad, as she then looked puzzled by how many people were in the kitchen along with dogs. You didn't? Arthur asked, making Baika laugh, and Kai read. I did, both her and her sister, but I think I am going to die. Kai said as Kuroka let out her power. Yes, you will, because why do you have the dogs here where the three of us live and why? Kuroka yelled, making the dogs jump in front of Kai, growling. HSSSS, both dogs and Kuroka let out. As they glared at each other until Kai let out his twin king power, making the three calm down. Fenris, both you two calm down or I won't find yourselves human forms. And Kuroka, these two are my pawns and my pets, you know, like family, and with my cousin back to normal, and I got my houses, I thought why not keep them with me? Kai said, making the three calm down, but then Vale, Ortha and Baiku along with Kuroka raised an eyebrow when Kai said houses. Okay, this is a big estate, but you say you have more, Dragon Boy? Biku said, making Kai raise an eyebrow at the nickname. None of your business, but yes, and Vale, meet me at Issei's and call my cousin's ex for me because... Then Vale cut off Kai saying, because of the dragon energy in Rias, right? Vala said with Kai's nod as they both knew it was the shard. You're right, Vala, but we both know how to fix it, but for why I need Zex, it's because him and Michael and Azazel want to talk to me and my four partners. Kai said, making the dividing gear appear with Albion asking, I know of your father and Ophis, but who else? Albion asked, making Kai reach out a hand summoning Gram. The sword Abaddon aka Aura Power and Destruction Gram, and as for the I can't tell you Vala due to your company, but I can set up a link between us three so we can talk like I did with Issei thanks to Ophis. Kai said as he left to get dressed to see Issei and the leaders. Okay, since this kid is very interesting, Issei, you chose a good student, but I will help him get revenge. Vala thinks to himself as remembered his grandfather. POV change high to home. We see Vala in his normal clothing and Kai in a blue tank top with his black jacket and blue jeans with his Timat gloves and Fenris by his side. Okay, nice look, but why did you bring? Vala asked, gesturing to the dog. Fenris, if the two won't listen I will force him out with Fenris, right boy? Kai said to Vala as he looked at Fenris as he barked, and the three walked into the house. Hello, who is it? Mickey asked. Hello, Mrs. Hyatt, a long time no see. Kai said as Goro and Mickey jumped running to Kai. How have you been? It's a long time no see. Goro asked as they hugged Kai. I'm good. We're here to see Issei, he has a long story to tell you since we last met. Kai said as he was confused, still not used to being hugged or cared for, but now he think it's normal. Okay, but if he has things to tell us we will talk to Sirzex, okay? Mickey said, breaking the hug as Vala and Kai nodded and went to Issei's room as Fenris was already outside the door. You're fast, Fenris. Also Vala, why are you so quiet? Kai asked his fellow Satan hypered along with fellow dragon. That's just how I am due to well being me, I guess that's how I've always been. Vala says as Kai and him stop at the door that Fenris was pawing at as the presence of the red dragon was in the room. Knock Noko knock Hayato, open up. Vala said, making Kai facepalm. You know you could be nice, right? Issei, the leaders want to give us a gift for beating Loki, hurry up. Kai said as the door opened, making Vala plush, and Kai hide his eyes as Rias opened the door covered by a blanket. Kai, it's to see you, cousin, thanks for the help by the way, and you too, Vala. Rias said with a smile to the pair's shock. Help with what? The two asked. Oh, you didn't know your POD and dragon power countered mine long enough for me to force Loki out of my head because two similar famos counter each other like a positive and a negative. Rias as she let them into Issei's room only to see him asleep with a perverted look in his face and a clay sculpture made brand new of Rias and Rainer, but how he saw them, one has his fire and one has his beginning. Okay, Rias, can I say something before I wake him up? Vala asked as Rias looked at him, now serious, thinking he would go back to fighting in the Choice Brigade. Can you get dressed, you're making your cousin blind himself. Vala said, motioning to Kai, who used the shadow gear on his eyes, making it so he can't see anything. Oh shit, sorry. Ria said as she went in the bathroom to change, as Vala walked towards Issei and punched him in the gut, making the dragon jolt up. Owl. What the Vala? Issei said as Vala was laughing his guts out. You didn't wake up, you idiot. Those two have been trying to get you up for the rewards you are getting. Drake said next to Kai with coffee in hand. Who said that? Kai said, still blind, making the three dragons laugh. Fenris, uncover my eyes or buy Issei out of bed. Kai said, making Issei run out of the room, as he knows what those kind of teeth can do. After all, he almost died to Fenris' dad. As Kai uncovered his eyes as they left. Was that needed, Kai? Rias asked, stepping out of the bathroom in a red shirt, black pants, and in silver jacket with red heels. Of course it would, he takes forever, and plus I was bored. Kai said, making everyone laugh as Vala and Drake walked down the stairs to make sure Issei was not on the ceiling, afraid of Fenris. Well, see ya at the Gremry estate, cousin. Kai said as he was about to leave, before he was stopped by Rias grabbing his arm. Kai, give Rainier this as a thank you and her reward. After all, I need to do some training if that's alright. Rias said as she gave Kai a necklace filled with limited POD energy. To Kai's shock, this is so she can use the power that she was brave enough to fight against, and that she deserves to use as a queen. However, it's very limited, it can only be used for Menidia, and then needs to be charged with magic, but with the person goes Evamo. This is so she can use the power that she was brave enough to fight against, and that she deserves to use as a queen. However, it's very limited, it can only be used for Menidia, and then needs to be charged with magic, but with the person goes even 1 second past the on-second mark, they will be harmed by the POD power. Rice explains to Kai as she then circles to her team to apologize for her crimes she did do to Loki. Damn, cuz you really are like a caretaker and a warrior who feels sorrow for her mistakes. Kai says as he leaves by putting the necklace in his pocket, walking down the stairs to see Issei and the others ready to leave. POV Underworld. We see the Gremry estate with many leaders in one room and all the people who fought in the room during the Loki event, as well as a circle appears to show Issei, Kai, Fenris, and Vala. Young dragon warriors, please step forward, you three who fought the god, and claim your gifts from the Alliance. Surzex spoke with a calm tone as the three walked forward with heads held high. Vala, Lucifer, White Dragon Emperor, and grandson Rizvan Lucifer. What is it that you would like as reward? Azazel asked with pride, and one of two people in front of him he views as a son. Vala looked at Issei and Kai as they both smiled as he turned back to the leaders and said, if possible, I would wish for my team to be excused of our crimes as we left the brigade before Kyoto, and I would my own pieces. Vala stated, shock from none as he was a devil. Very well, you earn that much at least. Syzex spoke as Vala bowed and left, and Kai walked up. Young Abaddon King and Dragon King. Kai, what is it that you would like? Yakasen asked as Kai spoke. I would like a book of Norse magic to learn more about Fenris and Finn, along with magic overall. And if possible a way that can turn human and into weapons Norse bound, because I care for them and same for me. And last, the Norse bow sinker besides my own dragon power, and some PODM all close combat. Kai says with most shocked by his request as Odin steps forward and says, young Twin King, I say you earned the right to learn of the Norse, so you have a deal. Odin says as Kai and the pups smile, and he turns to Ajuka. And Uncle Ajuka, Beelzebub, if it's alright, I would the rest of my father's assets, for example clothing, money, dragon fruit, and livery. Kai says, making Ajuka pissed at his assistant. My apologize, Kai, since my assistant didn't do her job, I will get that done ASAP. Ajuka says as all but Vala are in awe by how Kai spoke. As Vala laughs, he hears Kai talk in his head through a link saying, tell anyone the money OS mainly for Kuroka and Kaneko making my meat and sweets bill go up, I will kill you, white one, or maybe worse, Kai says in his head as he scares Vala and Albion silent as he walks back and Issei steps forward. Issei Hayadu, Red Dragon Emperor. Michael says, fiancé to Rias and host of Great Red, as well as dragon power beyond that of most high-class devils and satans. Surzex says, cutting off Michael as he know how serious they owe Issei. I will make this Gik leaders of the factions. I wish for a sum of the library of each faction into my phone or copies of the books in my home. Second, I would like to know where to find the home of Drake, and last, I am here to cash in my favors from the factions from long ago. Issei says, shocking all present but the leaders, as they knew they owed him more than even their live, thus they are ready for his demands. I would like to cash in my favors. Issei said to the leaders as Odin Surzex were glad he brought it up, while Azazel and Michael were ready as well, but thinking back to when they gave Issei those favors at the Peace Summit, and the only difference they see is he is wiser and stronger but still as kind as ever. While Yakeisen was shocked but blushed as she started to grow a liking to Issei from how close he is with Kai and how he tried to protect Kyoto. Plus, fist favors from Lord Michael. Issei said, turning to the angel. I would like you to find a way to help Iron not fall from love or lust, because how her and the others love me and I for them. Issei said, hearing shock from nobles but tears from people with hearts and understanding. And Azazel, if it is alright, I would like you to help train Mikaya, Akino, and Rainer. The Fallens need help with the new powers they have, or old ones like Akino and Light Spears and Rainer and Dragon Power, while me and Kai need a place to train and help control our new power in our own way. Issei said, turning back to his fellow dragon and thinking back to the boy who has now grown to be one of the strongest beings, even stronger than the Longinus users if he tries. Those can be our Issei. After all, I want to know more of your powers as well, Azazel said. And me and Gabriel will find a way to help Irina. Michael spoke, happy for Issei, caring that Irina loves him, and that she loves being an angel. As Issei was about to turn to Yakeisen as magic circle appeared, showing Kuroka and Kaneko in a hurry rushing next to the Gremory family. Why are late, Kaneko? Gasper asked as Kaneko's head was bonding. She got a little drunk last night and needed a nap, Kuroka said, making Kai go red. As he thought back to last night with the sisters. POV Abaddon Estate last night. Lemon. As the meeting in diner was over, Kai and Kaneko circled to the estate to his new room. So Kaneko, I got to say thanks for th. Before Kai could finish, he was ed by Kaneko and being pushed on the bed as he felt her heart beat like crazy. Kai, I want you hiccup now, Kaneko said, drunk from drinking after the battle but hungry for her mate, as Kai smiled and hurried and undressed them both as they continued to make out ready for after battle love. As in the hallway a black cat was watching them in pleasure and heat, just like her little sister. Oh God, Kai, I felt you in the battle and your power made me so hot, Kaneko said, biting Kai's ear and slowly ing down his body as the two ignored the headache. However, their peeping cat got a headache, making noise, stopping the two. You heard that too, right? Or was that man boner wanting to you? Kai said as his dragon peeked through his pants as his zipper broke, making Kaneko get up. As much as I want to you like an ice cream cone, I heard my sister too, so let me hiccup get her out, Kaneko said as Kai got up and rubbed her cat ears, stopping her in place. Sorry, but I think she can join us after all for watching me and my queen. She deserves a rook's punishment, Kai said as he grabbed his mate's tail, making her moan and fall on the bed to his joy, seeing her what more as his dragon side wanted to show his dominance. Oh shit, they heard me, maybe I can leave now before they see me, Kuroka said aloud as she felt a hand caress her chin. Don't leave now, my black cat of lust. If you loved us warming up, maybe join us, we wouldn't mind, but you do need punished for being a naughty kitten, Kai said, whispering in Kuroka's ear as she turned red and was about purr. I will see ya later, Naya, Kuroka says as she runs out of the room, and Kai turns back to Kaneko, but unknowingly Kuroka still watches, running back in the room, hiding her power. What's wrong, love, not fighting back? How about we turn in up a level or two, Kaneko says as she leans down to Kai as he grabbed her ears to her shock. That was the best, right, Kaneko? Kaneko? Kai says as he turns to Kaneko, now passed out after the fun they had along with drinking, with a peaceful smile on her face, making Kai sleep calm with her. Hours later, as Kai sleeps, we see a black little cat crawl under Kai's blanket, and suddenly Kai wakes up feeling heavy. How, Kaneko, is that you? Kai said, tired, as he lifted up the blanket to see Kuroka giving him a BJ. Well, Kaneko, wouldn't mind if I mark you, we both have some similar ideas, Kai said as he leaned down and marked Kuroka on the neck as he let his juices fire in her mouth. Well, that was nice, Kuroka said as she showed Kai her boobs as he let his instincts roar as he jumped on her her full dragon style. Flashback end. Kai, you good? Issei asked, seeing Kai look shocked at his mate. Yes, I'm fine, just I wonder if Kuno is okay? Kai asked Yakeisen as Kuno stepped from behind her mother with a smile. I'm fine, Kai. Papa, no reason to worry, Kuno said, making both dragons go red as Kai remembered his promise to Kuno, while for Issei things rang out the same in the OG story, so she views him as a father figure. Well, moving on, Yakeisen, may I train with Sun Okong from time to time? Issei asked. Of course, Issei, Yakeisen said as Issei turned to Surzex. My last favor is I would like to train with Team Gremory and fight with them one last time in this game, because we will always be family, but as a king I can't be Rias's pawn, but I will always be by their side, Issei said to Surzex with shock from Odin. What about a favor from me? He asked. freeing me and Rias and Loki under Great Red's watch through a trap I put on him. It's alright, however, Rasviesa, if you want now that Loki is done and over with, care to join Team Gremry like you wanted? Issei asked as Rasviavsa cried as Rias scraped a rook piece. With my family we always remember our premises. Rias says, giving the piece to the Valkyrie, as she looked to Odin for an answer. Go ahead, my humble Valkyrie, you free to be the person you wish to be. Odin said as she took the piece in with joy. Okay, Issei, I can do that favor as long as you help me with my problem, is that alright? Serzex asked as Rasviavsa walked towards Rias's team. Of course, my lord. Issei said as he bowed along with the dragons, and everyone left but Saji and Team Gremry and the dragons. Wait, why am I here? Saji asked. Because tell Sona you will be given a promotion test for mid-class for your bravery. Serzex said as Saji bowed and left with joy. Okay, follow me, Issei. Sryzek said as he left to a room in the Gremry building. Okay, Kai Rainer, train them, you guys need the hello too. Isio said as he left with the Devil King, POV Gremroy Halls. So why are we here? Issei asked as the two powerful beings walked near a room where Grafia stood guard. Issei, here is your last gift, and be careful. I looked into his mind and he is powerful, more so than you were versus Vala at the summit, but now I don't know his power. Serzex said with concern as he opened the door to reveal a room full of plates and one man on the bed. Issei, watch out brother, his power feels high class at the least. Drake said, sensing the being inner power yet no devil or dragon power. Got it partner, thanks. Issei said as he walked up to the man covered in a blanket. Excuse, may I ask your name? Issei said to the scion we know as Shalat. Yeah, my name is. It's you, Shalat said, entering SSJ God and Issei Balance Breaker King state as he was thinking the same. It's you, Shalat said, entering SSJ God and Issei Balance Breaker King state as he was thinking the same. Nightfall Darkness Dragon Yuma Gear King state. You both know each other? The mouse Serzex asked. Yeah, his power summoned me, Shalat said with a smile. And he was the fighter I felt from the gap I wanted on my team to fight strong foes with. Issei said, which caught Shalat's attention. Fight strong foes? Sign me up as long as you help me with something, if that's alright. I'm not over 000 years old for due to time travel for nothing. Shalat said as he and Issei put it there with a smile, calming the power. Okay, well, if you want to be my ally then accept these pawn pieces, mutated. Issei said as he put his hand out, and Shalat, confused, calmed himself, and accepted them, growing to ultimate low-class devil power. I don't feel different, Shalat said, confused. You won't yet, Serzeka here will explain. After all, now you are 80% your original DNA and 0% dragon and other 0 devil because I'm nice. Issei said, leaving his new pawn to Serzex to explain the evil pieces as he promised to help the others. Wait, Issei ho, whatever? Serzex said while Shalat thought. Brother, I will get back home. I found you once, I can do it again. POV Team Gremry. We see Kai versus the Rooks and Knights honing their power and speed along with his own, while Rainier boosted her magic and power, while same for the others, since they all can learn from this fight as they have one day left till the game. Who will win, Dragon or Bale? Let us see. Both Issei and Serorg thought as they meant with their teams to train. Welsh Dragon Cardinal Crimson promotion. Issei yelled, getting everyone's attention. Okay guys, fight me, and if you knock me down or out it's equal to Bale. After all, Rias, you need to train, and melee is good but long range is something we need to work on. Issei said as Aqua ready to fight. With 1 day left, Issei and the others begin training all versus him in his queen form to be ready for Serorg. Plus, okay guys, come at me. Remember, think like him fight at full power. Issei said as everyone got it a formation. Gapsa in front with the knights behind him. Aquino in the air, Rias in the center, and Asia in the back, but Issei noticed he couldn't see Kaneko, which felt like a plan was about to hatch. Now let's go! They all yelled as Kiba started it off, using his 2 balance breaker sword on Issei fist to blade, surprising Issei by formation, and then change on WHI would fight him. Eat this, Issei, holy flame shocker. Kiba yelled, pulling a holy sword he made AMD a flame devil sword to create a powerful blast, making Issei step back a bit. Not bad, Kiba, you need to try better then. Dragon shot. Issei said as he pushed away the blast with a dragon shot, only to see Kiba was gone, which put him on guard. However, okay, where are you, Blondie? Ugh. Issei said as Gasper came out of the ground, punching Issei in the gut and freezing him in place with his gear. Thanks for the cover, Kiba. We call that the Daywalker Eclipse, a switch of fast and power knight and a fast, but now due to me using my vampire and human blood as part of my training, now I got incredible strength on top of my gear. Gasper said as then Ed at full power with a hint of blue fire, and unfreezing issei, making him fly back a few feet. However, issei noticed while getting hit the flame was a sage fire, but how? As the dragon got back up, he felt large amounts of holy energy charged up. Okay Zenobia, let's see what you got. Issei said, seeing Zenobia with a golden beam of energy from her sword. Okay Issei, I'm not holding back now, eat this. Zenobia yelled as the blade and energy came crashing down towards Issei. Queen Bishop Cannon. Issei said, summoning his cannon on his right arm, charging up a blast right at the holy energy. Dragon Cannon full power, ah! Issei and Drake yelled as he shot the blast, and the dragon and holy energy clashed. However, Issei broke through the attack and his blast hit Zenobia head on. Sorry about I said I would fight back. Issei said, seeing Asia healing her from far away and Rasvesa using a barrier to help Zenobia not take the brunt of the blast. We what now? Issei thought as he heard bats fly behind me. I can still hear and sense you, Gasper. Issei said, throwing a punch. However, it was Kaneko, not Gasper, and she was at Nico level, blocking the punch and Issei back. Ugh. So that's the trick, you two go bat and small cat, so it's harder for me to see and sense you, so you both can switch places and strike as best hand-to-head fighter without weapons. I must admit I'm impressed. Issei as Kaneko and Gasper both revealed themselves a little. Why? Keep your guard up, Issei. Giga Dragon End. Aquino and Rias yelled, firing 3 lighting dragons, and Pod Giga Start merged together for a powerful blast as the larger impact was coming from above. The 2 smaller Pod lightning dragons were from the right and left, coming fast towards Issei. So that was the plan, keeping me off guard with Kaneko and Gasper. Well, fine by me. Mode change, Queen Rook Welsh impact booster, Issei said as his arms entered Rook mode as 2 of the dragons rushed at him. One he took and punched it, breaking it, and he used his other arm to block the explosion from the dragon on the left. Everyone was tired from the attacks except for Kaneko, Kiba, and Rasvyavsa, but as the smoke cleared from the explosion and the Giga Dragon rushed at him, they all heard one thing: boost, boost, boost. Repeatedly as a red and emerald glow formed around Issei as he boosted over 0 times and summoned 2 cannons on his shoulders. This will be a powerful attack, watch out. Welsh Sonic Impact. Dragon Waver. Issei and Drake let out as a large blast ripping the sky apart destroyed the king and queen attack. Rias and Aquino launched and destroyed a distant mountain, shocking Kai, while everyone else remembered the past training days when it came to Riser. Okay, I think that will be enough for now, guys, let's rest, Issei said, turning off his queen form. He's right, we don't know how the games will work just yet, Rias said, standing up and helping her queen up and turning to Issei. So how many members to your team do you have now, Issei? Rias asked, making everyone turn to him, even Kai and Rainier, who wanted to know as well. Well, first I have members and it only took pieces, but that's the good news. The bad is I want, damn, it's hard to say this after you graduate, I want to leave the orc so my team can have its own devil club, but I don't know how to go about it, Issei said, making everyone upset because they figured he would leave, but they are glad it's not for a bit. Why doesn't Sona help you find a room? I honestly think you guys could be a cooking club, maybe, Gasper said as Zenobia turned to him. Why cooking? I honestly thought it would be music, Zenobia said, making everyone laugh. You both have good ideas, but I also want Kai to join my group, or yours, Rias, since he is a king himself, and the same age as Ravel and Kaneko, Issei said as Kiba walked to him. Don't worry about it yet, Issei, we have time to think about it, but you really are thinking like a king, Kiba said, what everyone was thinking as they all got up, walking to the Gremory estate for rest until, boom, they all heard an explosion at the estate, which caught them all on guard as Issei activated his rift as everyone hurried to the location. POV Surzex. Here we see before the explosion Surzex was explaining everything about the evil pieces to Charlotte as they both got headaches, while Grafia and Milikus both looked amused by what was going on. Okay Charlotte, that's all to do with the evil pieces, anything else? Surzex asked the half-asleep Scion. Yes, can I test my power with my forms? Charlotte asked as he stood up. Sigh, sure, but later you need new clothes and... Before Surzex could finish, Charlotte entered Super Scion and placed his hand out like Issei with his dragon shot. Okay, let's see promotion, Bishop, Charlotte said as he felt his ki be more controlled, stronger, and focused, making him smirk. Okay, let's try this wild cannon, Charlotte said, yelling his main move of a yellow and green beam of energy from his hand, just like how Issei shot a dragon shot, and instantly Surzex shot POD at it, causing an explosion so nobody would be hurt, but more so because he felt like Charlotte grew 0 times stronger, and the Bishop power made his blast 0 times stronger. Yes, G is a 0 times multiplier, but in making for a Scion the promotions give an extra boost to the multiplier, so Ki Bishop, Melee Rook, and Knight Stamina. is normal SSJ, while each other SSJ form will still have the plus, but OT varies for each form. Please look up each Saiyan boost for power levels, and instead of 0 with the boost, make it then multiple. Sorry about that, back to the story. Issei and the others teleport to the office of Lucifer with smoke everywhere. Brother, are you alright? Rias yelled as Shalat and Surzek stood up. I'm fine, Rias, but please stay back. Issei summon a dragon shot to shoot that mountain over there, Surzek said, pointing to his broken wall at the mountain to Issei's confusion. Okay, sure thing? Issei said, launching a dragon shot to Shalat's shock as he then went into a battle stance, shocking everyone in Team Grimry. How can you do that? That's like my wild cannon, but red and emerald instead of yellow and emerald. Shalat said, shocking everyone but Surzek, who saw the blast. Okay, Shalat, calm down, okay? Surzek said as Shalat turned to him with confusion. Alright, fine, but can we get some food? Shalat said as his and Issei's stomach growled. Seems like scions and dragons eat the same. Shalat, come here, we will eat, but first Rainier will send you to my home and get you some new clothes, alright? Issei said as Rainier smiled and prepared a circle. I have never changed my suit before, so I'm fine with that as long as we keep this, because I can't go to Vegeta or Bulma to get new clothes. Shalat said, smarking Issei's attention. Did you say Bulma? So you're from that world, you're a scion? Issei said in surprise, as he knew about the world of DBZ, but he thought it was fake. But now he is in front of a scion right now, as one is his pawn. Well, we can talk later, boys. Shalat, come on, you need to be well dressed and not smell before we eat, and since you're Issei's pawn, you can watch a powerful battle tomorrow. Rainier said, making Shalat smile as he pictured the fights. Okay, sure thing. Oh wait, before we go, Issei, or should I call my king? Weird, can I learn magic, because I have a plan to show you my full power? Shalat said, making his scion blood and Issei dragon blood boil in need for battle. Sure thing, Shalat, see ya later. Issei said as his queen and pawn left. Sorry about Surzek, is it alright if we rest here tonight before the game? Issei said to the Mao. Of course, Issei, we still got hours till dinner, so you all can hit the hay, so to speak, so you can rest. Surzek said as he was about to leave, but then noticed Rias and the others sweating and a little tired, making him smile. Glad to see you're training yourself, Rias. Surzek thought as he and his queen and son left the room. So I guess we don't have long till the game, but I want to ask you guys something. Issei said, getting everyone's attention. How has your training been doing with your aura, not just physical form? Well, to be truthful, Kiba is doing great, as well as Kaneko, Gasper, and Zenobia, but me and Akino need to do more training, but I think we are doing good. Rias said as everyone nodded in agreement, and Asia walked up to both Issei and Rias. And I've been doing my own training, so now my healing is more focused along with my magic power, Asia said, making everyone happy as they left the Devil King's office. Hello, my king, thanks for having me be here for dinner. Everyone heard as they saw Shalat in normal cloths bowing with Rainier hiding in the corner. This without the Capsule Corp logo. Rainier, are you okay? Issei asked as they walked up to the two. Oh hey, Issei, Rias, yeah I am. I found out the hard way that scion tails are real and spiked hair is natural. Rainier says, thinking back to running a shower for Shalat and getting new clothes as she tried to take off his tail, but instead Shalat fainted. That bad, really? Rias asked, helping her up off the ground, noticing the necklace around her neck. Surprisingly, yes, and thanks for the necklace, Rias. Don't thank me, it's a thank you and apology gift for everything. The two say as they talk until they see two people join group. Oh Rias, Issei, I'm glad to see you both are back together, let alone finally being strong again. Velerona Gremry, seeing everyone present. Thank you all for coming, even you Surzek, please join us for dinner. Xiatica said, walking everyone to dinner. Of course, Lord and Lady Gremry. Wait, where did Shalat go? Issei asked, looking in confusion with Rainier until they heard a yell. Hey, whose pawn is this? A familiar voice asked, dragging Shalat with him as everyone turned to see Kai in a brown and red suit with black jeans and leather boots from his father's collection, and his Timat gloves always suiting his attire, pulling Shalat by his tail with Kuroka and two hooded figures with him. Kai, what are you doing here? It hasn't been long, has it? Gasper said as everyone was happy to see Kai again. Well, first I wants to see a juka for some things involving my house and my father, like this book of old my father had in a secret chamber. Kai says, letting go of Shalat and pulling the book out from his jacket. This book, and then I wanted to see my mate sensei and favorite family before their game. Also, you better win, because I also came here to warn you. Kai said, making everyone shift to being on guard. Warn us about what, Kai? Aquino asked. Well, if you beat Bale, you have one more fight. If Issei doesn't use his own house, you'll fight me, Kai said, shocking everyone present, especially Rias, Issei, and Kaneko, because they thought Cyborg was the last opponent. I get you're all shocked, but Kai is an official king now, so he can fight. And Issei, Chiron, are you too sure about your choice for the games? Kuroka asked, wanting to fight by her sister, but she wouldn't mind fighting her just once. We are sure because this will be our last Gremory game, but we will always be Gremory's sister, Kuroka said, standing by Rias, making Kai smile. That's why I love you, my mate, always so strong and bold. Well, I only came here for that. I will see you all at the games, Kai said as his team left. Great, now we have to be on guard for him, Zenobia said, still taking it all in. Wait, Zenobia, where's Irina? Asia asked, not seeing her anywhere. Oh, she will meet us at the games. She is I'm heaven for Issei's favor, Rasviavsa informed the two. Okay, everyone, let's get to dinner, and then rest, Rias said, with everyone agreeing. As they ate, we see small talk of battle plans, graduation, and of course Charlotte eating plate after plate with no manners like a scion, shocking all but with what they've seen bad manners more normal or preferred than gods in battle. And they end the day with Ravel showing up and making everyone laugh with the Epee Dragon song, making Issei have Drake leave his arms so they both can cry in a corner. POV Kai. After I left, it seemed all was the plans were about to off, so all I need to do is check a few things, Ka thinks as he is on his way to his estate with his team. You guys go home, I need to make a stop, Kai said as he left in his dragon form, going far from any civilization. I would say follow him, but his orders, so let's go. Three think as they leave to the house. But with Kai, he flies to the mountains where he saw a blue dragon waiting for him as they both glowed to go back to human. Sorry I'm late, mother, I needed to talk to Ajuka about dad, Kai says as he saw his mom in a blue shirt with red flower designs, a silver skirt, and black jacket with red heels, and her blue hair now no longer in bun, and instead let down to shoulder length because of her new haircut. It's fine, Crimson-eyed boy. Now we just need Michael here and we are good to talk. After all, he has guest Ians, you and me have demands, Timat said with a small smile after seeing her son's dragon form. And like Amk, Michael appeared in front of the two dragons, making them pissed off. You both are ready to talk? Michael asked as Kai closed his eyes and they turned silver, and his hair black. Yes, brother, we are. A strong voice came from Kai's body as it was no longer Kai talking. Sam will make sure my son is talking to his father. After all, he needs the wisdom, Timat said, letting out her power in front of the two angels. Of course, Lady Timat, he is talking to him. Also, he is talking to Ophis right now, so it's all right, Samuel said to the dragon mother. Brother, enough, why are you here? Michael asked, annoyed that he is free from hell. Well, to be fair, it was freedom or Kai dies, and me and Ophis don't want that. We care for this kid, unlike you, Michael, who casted away your strongest brother and gave his name and title of Lucifer to someone else when our father sealed me in again when he died, Samuel said with rage, letting out his holy and posium aura along with some of Kai's aura as he continued. I am only here to talk for Kai because of one thing you owe him, well, two things you owe him since you made Vala's family have my name and ego, Samuel said as his black winged mark appeared on Kai's arm. However, as they talk, a girl with long black hair and a long orange string around her arm with a large bust even more seductive than Rias and Aquino's and a white jacket with very small blue jean shorts watches them from afar. So your bloodline lives along with dragon, good for me, I like the hunt. Soon, demon, you will face my judgment. Keep this in mind, she says as she summons devil wings. Now to tomorrow at the games. Here we see Kai and everyone at the stadium cheering for the battle to start, as we see Team Bale waiting and Team Gremroy slowly walking forward as both Issei and Serorg think. Let the fights begin. As everyone sees Team Gremory, AMD cheers with joy as Rainer, Ravel, and Irina take care of the Appia Dragon group. Let the battle begin. The announcer yells as we see both Team Gremory and Team Bale ready for battle. Plus, glad you could show up, Red Dragon Emperor, even though you're a king now. I'm surprised you're fighting with Gremory, Serorg says, happy to fight Issei. Well, Serorg, I won't lose to you or anyone, and am only fighting with them today because a promise I made to you to fight at full power against you, and after this game my student asked me one thing, Issei says before going silent, getting everyone's attention, even Rainar's and Rias. However, Kai looks cold. So Master made the choice, about time he moves on, Kai says aloud as Ravel and Charlotte and Rainer get interested as Issei then speaks. After this game in 1 week I will fight the House of Gremroy for the strongest race because this fight is strongest devil, but next week with me versus Kai and then me versus Rias it be strongest dragon that rules over the dead god versus the twin king of alliance, and if we win the strongest devil heiress. The ultimate battle is next week because this is just a warm-up. Issei says aloud, shocking even the higher-ups with his speech as the crowd roared with excitement. Now that both warriors spoke their piece, let's roll those dice. I agree with that, I can't wait to see this battle. Azazel spoke. Now most of the fights will stay the same, and some the same match with different outcomes to the original story. However, Kiba's fight will remain the same, and now we leave off here. Wow, that was some fight, don't you agree? Kai asked his hooded pawn with a sword made of pure ice. Grr. Indeed, I haven't fought him yet, but from my scars I know swords are strong, the pawn said as his other chimed in. Brother, please, magic and physical power is best, not swords and magic, he said, annoyed. Why not both, you two? Kuroka asked as they both said nothing until Kai turned around. You both can learn from the sisters, but they can learn from me. Swords can break, magic runs out, and power weakens. You need all of the above plus knowledge. Now shut up so I can watch the game. Kai snapped as he looked at the battlefield, seeing Kaneko, and making think back to when they trained after Kyoto. POV Kaneko. As Kaneko Rasvyavsa introduced themselves to their opponents, Kaneko thinks back to what Kai told her as they both trained. Flashback. We see behind the clubroom Kai, Office, and Kaneko train. I eat this, meow. Kaneko yell at ing, but he blocks and throws her back. You are missing something, little cat, Office says, pissing off Kaneko, which Kai sensed with the mate bond. Oh really, what's emo dragon? Kaneko yells as Kai helps her up. She's right, Soroko's sage power is like my dragon power. For example, dragon is control and overgrowing with my experience, training, and emotional, while your power is like a wild beast ready to be free in battle, Kai says, shocking Kaneko. In short. Kai then punches his mate back a few steps. You can control it, but if you restrain it, you will be like a kitten biting instead of the warrior you are. Don't be afraid, I have a plan to help your control. Flashback end. I need to control my power and our bond because I will be the wild rook, Nico, and warrior I am. Kaneko thinks as she enters Nico level. However, her mark glows, and so does Kai's as Kaneko gains a second violet aura that forms into a dragon as her golden blue aura of a Nico covers her body, showing how much power is coming from Kaneko. That's it, you can do it, Kai thinks, seeing the fight begin. Come on, Kaneko, some ass, Issei yells as he knows this will be the beginning. Back in the battlefield, both Rasvyavsa and the knight Libin Crossel and the rook Gandoma Balam are shocked by power. Rasvyavsa, you take care of the knight, this guy is mine, Kaneko states, rushing at Gandoma with speed no could track, yet power with one knocking him far back into the wall, and not giving him a chance. Kaneko kept up the assault with power and fast punches with energy behind them to knock Gandoma out, and making his body break, he retired, shocking the Grode. That's my girl, you're facing Nico level dragon soul. Kai yells with joy at his mate's power, it makes his instincts want to until. Stop it, chop, 3 punches stop the boy as we see Tannen Timat, and a dragon in a black jacket and gold hair with a hooded man with him. Growling, the two figures with Kai said to them, making Kuroka snap. Hey, don't swear, those are his family. Well, I think I know Timat is. Kuroka says as she and her sister are the only ones who can understand the two besides Kai, for no and FRR is all people here. Kuroka says as she and her sister are the only ones who can understand the two besides Kai, for no and FRR is all people here. Guess who? Ow ow ow. Mom, stop that, and who those with you? Kia asked as he felt a glow of energy behind him. It's for actually love, Office said, teleporting behind Kai. I didn't mark you, Office, please stop trying to mark me, I know what you did to Kaneko after I left, Kai says, going red as his mark glows. I was just aid to the kitten, Office says as Kai jumps back. Hey, I'm the only one who calls her that. Kai snaps as a man grabs him. Nephew, it's fine, we want to see Issei fight, and your mate, Tannen says, and after that Kai recognized him. Uncle Tannen, it's been so long besides the meeting, Kai says, then turning to the other dragon in confusion. I am Krom Kruch, the evil dragon, and your uncle. I am here for the only twin dragon god emperor to exists. Krom Kruch says, referring to Issei as a devil, dragon god, heavenly dragon, evil dragon, and emperor. Okay, fine, but Siegfried, take the cloak off, you're fine, remember we got a deal, and too, Mom, I need your help, Kai says, sparking Timat's concern. What is it? She asked her son, stepping close to him. First, give this to Siegfried, the cloaked man, hands her a normal knight piece, and 2, that blonde. I feel dad's power, but extremely weak, Kai says, looking at the Queen of Bale. Indeed, son, I sense it as well, it feels like 0% of the Abaddon power. She doesn't know about your father or that you might be cousins, Timat says, enraged that the Abaddons that are nothing but servants or fools live but her mate AMD husband. Father to her son didn't. Mother, calm down please. Kai said, letting out his power, but his mom's rage grew her power beyond him, holding back as Tiamat was charging a blast towards the false Abaddon Queen until Ti-chan stopped this. Lord Abaddon spoke from Kai as his red and gold aura formed behind Kai into a solid body of magic as Kai had control of his body again. Tiamat, don't, there isn't much of my house left, and she was a little girl when my family became almost none. She was given that name as an adapted Abaddon, not a true Abaddon. Do not kill her. Now she is under BL protection, and doesn't need my name anymore. Lord Kai Abaddon spoke as her turned to his son. Kai, 1, I'm so happy to see how you've grown, and 2, no, it's not what you're thinking, because she isn't Cyrord cousin. She holds my name because no one knew of you, and she was already engaged to Baal when I gave her the name. It's a name to make sure she won't die. It's not her real name. She lost her blood last name at birth. She was counted as a Straith, and you would have been too if it wasn't for you being related to Gremry. Lord Abaddon says, going towards his son, hugging him, merging back with him, as all we see is Kai and red mist behind him. We miss you, Dad? Kai says as his dad merged back with him, and it was only him and Tiamat left out of the 3 warrior family. Back with the fight, Kaneko walks away from Gandoma and to Rasviavsa, who is stuck due to gravity, but the opponent is left wide open. You're strong, I'll give you that, but I have one opening, Rasviavsa says as Kaneko walks behind the knight, and Gandoma breaks out of the wall using all the power he has left to attack Kaneko, but Kaneko turns around using the Aura Dragon to catch the giant's fist as she builds up a blue and purple fire around her fist. Sneak attacks won't work, and now you're done, Kaneko says as her body burns from her own power. Now eat this, my Dragonic Blaze Flare Punch! Kaneko yells, using all the fire and energy burning her to make a Nico and dragon of aura around her, as she punched Gandoma so hard the force was felt from the stands. Gandoma? Liban said, shocked at what he felt knowing his friend was eliminated, but he felt like he was punched. As he looked down, he realized he was. If you're wondering, I swapped places with Kaneko after she hit Gandoma, and her aura protected her from your gravity gears, so she was able to knock you out too. Rasviavsa says, leaving Liban and running to Kaneko, who was burnt from her power, but she whispered something and all her injuries and burns were healed to the shock of Rasviavsa as their foes were eliminated. Winners of the second match, Team Gremry. The announcer says to the crowd's joy from how awesome the battle was. Hell yeah, my girl/sister. Kai and Kuroka said with joy as Siegfried then took off the cloak and walked up to Kai. Congrats on your mate's win, but is the offer you gave me still available? Siegfried asked as Tiamat walked over to him. Yes, it is here, she said, giving him a normal knight piece as he accepted being Kai's Dragon Devil Knight. What about you, monkey, want to join? Kai asked Baiko as he smirked. Sorry, no, I'm staying with my brothers. After all, Vala should be getting his pieces soon, so me and Ortha should be joining him. Thanks though, Dragon Runt. The monkey joked with Kai as they all looked back at the fight of the next match, being Gasper and Zenobia versus the Rook and Bishop of Baal, with Rias and the others. Issei was in deep thought as he did say he wanted his own match separate from the games for him to fight Kai and Rias, but he was still unsure. He was also thinking about the new pawn. It felt like gear, and he knew it would mean he might need to enter that form. Keeping a secret from his dragons in his mind, Issei, we're leaving now, wish us luck, Gasper said, snapping him out of his train of thought to get up and talk to the two. Gasper some ass and show them what Gremry men can do with our resolve. Zenobia showed them the power of the legendary holy sword user of Gremry, Issei said, motivating the two as he then looked towards Gasper. Also, Gasper, I think I got an outfit for you and you to Zenobia if you want, he said, shocking the two. In the battlefield, we see Mistita Sabnak and Ladora Bune the Rook and Bishop of Sariorg waiting for their opponents, as suddenly a beam of red light shines AMD. We see Gasper and Zenobia step out in new outfits. Gasper is wearing a silver shirt with a black bat and blood moon design on it with black gloves and red and black jacket with blue jeans and fancy leather shoes. Zenobia, however, is wearing a blue and black shirt with a gold sword design on it as she holds Durandal and has a yellow and white half jacket and an orange skirt and black heels, the yellow and orange for Irina and Asia, people she views as sisters. Wow, badass, that's the Gremry team. If they fight how they look, all are dead. The crowd talks among each other as Azazel, Kai, Vala and other powerful figures are shocked not just by the new looks but also how determined they seem. Sorry for the wait, but we will take you down, Zenobia says, taking the two aback. And we won't hold back, Gasper says with his pride as Gremry man showing as he wishes to fight at full power. Bring it on, you two, Ladora says as he enters his dragon form, shocking Issei, Kai and Rias as that is the form of one of the pillars. Yes, I found him helped him control his power. Judging by the look on your faces, I say it was worth it. Cyorg says to Issei and Rias as Kai hears them from above. That's a clever move, Bale, but you can't win with silly tricks like a dragon. I should know, me and Issei are dragons. Kai shouts as he feels eyes glare at him. True, but I might know Hayata's weakness unlike you. Cyorg says, shocking Kai as he looks at Issei. Sensei has a weakness? Kai stated, confused, never seeing Issei's rage or weakness. Yes, Kai and Vala only sensed Issei didn't see him due to his power being so strong. Back to the fight, Gasper clashing each one of his punches with the dragon. Seems like my training and the advice I got really helped, Gasper says as he had Ledora back and turned into bats. Wait, advice, Gasper? Rias asked, turning to Issei. I have no clue. I told him to talk to Ajuka and Azazel. Seems like besides normal training they helped him to boost his power by using his blood, Issei said, surprised by Gasper's growth. Durandal, lend me your power, Zenovia said. About attack with blade, and Mistita tried to seal its power. Zenovi summoned a second sword, the Sword of Destruction, her original holy sword, and Durandal got seal AMD weekend, but only half of Zenovia did due to her summoning a second holy sword to split the spell apart. Huff, wow, I thought that was an attack, not a seal. Glad I summoned a second sword. If I didn't, I would have lost all my power, Zenovia said, barely standing and half of her body covered in purple chains. That's not, I got eat this, Mistita yelled as she fired magic at Zenovi. However, the knight took half the hits due to her being able to block and dodge with the Blade of Destruction even if she is at half strength. Damn, if she keeps this up I won't land a hit, Zenovia thinks as she then gets covered by bats and teleported somewhere on the battlefield. What, where are you? Mistita said, pissed as she saw a blind Ledora who was hit many times in the eyes by magic and pure power. With Gasper, he flies Zenovia over to a hidden area ISSSI place around it. Gasper, what are you doing? She asked weakly. I'm using my own magic plus Issei's new blood to repel the magic of the gear and seal on you, but it need a small amount of time, Gasper says, finishing the spell as he walks towards the two. Zenovia tried to get up and stop him, but he put a barrier around her until the spell was done. This was Gasper's sacrifice. So you come out of hiding, runt? Ledora says as Gasper then looks at the two. First you play games and use dirty tricks to seal my friend's power, then you think you can win when don't have the honor or pride of Gapsa, then lets large demonic and vampire power causing the field to rumble. You think you can win WHE, you don't know pride and resolve of men of Gremory family. Gasper yells, shocking all, showing his pride power from the young kid he was to now as Issei and Rias cry and Kaneko tears up, happy how he has grown as black and aura with white electricity is around him. This is gonna be wild, everyone, Shalot says, finally getting his interest piqued by Gasper's power. Time for me to show you my resolve that I gained from my new home as a Gremory, Gasper says as the wind then picks up as Ledora back and Mistita blasts him with magic, but he easily swats it away and blasts her away with his own power as she gets launched into a mountain. As Gasper turns to Ledora. Now let me show you the rules and power of a Gremory bishop, Gasper says with a serious tone and eyes with a tear from him, thinking back to why he fights as he smiles. These are the rules of all guys in the Gremory family, he shouts, making Issei remember what he told him after meeting him and right after he left the team. These are the rules I wanted to tell you, Gasper, but now I need to think if those are the only things to live by. Past, Issei says to Gasper when he was still the little vampire who wore girls' clothing. Why you die, brat? Ledora says as Gasper catches the giant's tail attack and spins him around until he throws him across the field. First, stand up no matter what, something you clearly can't do, Gasper says, appearing in front of the down Ledora and picking up. Second, we never give, so if you really are a rook, don't give up and show me if you're worth anything, Gasper yells, punching the giant away and making him cough blood. You little die, you fool, he yells, firing all his power in a blast of fire as Gasper just walks into it, shocking all with fear, thinking he died. Rias and Issei sense one thing. And last but not least, always protect the ladies, Gasper yells, jumping from the flames and punching the Gans away and then attacking him repeatedly till he retires. As the rook retired, Gasper calmed his power but felt pain from the flames and then, eat this, boy, if I go so will you. Seal of true pain, Mistita yells, shocking Gasper non-stop and sealing he a newfound power until he glows. I won't lose yet, because I was. Set the lookout, Gasper says, freezing Mistita in time as Zenovi comes out behind them with tears and a full power Durandal ready to strike. Thank you, Gasper, and you gave us this win. Now rest, my friend. the knight says as Gasper smiles, closing his eyes as Zenobia hit both him and the bishop, knocking them out, giving Gremory the win at his sacrifice, making all in the Gremory team feel sad at what he did. But issei, however, clenches his fist, saying one thing: "I won't let you down, little brother. Gasper, we will get this win for you." The crowd goes silent as Gasper was retired, but Gremory won. Rias shed tears but brushed them off, feeling the cut scar on her face from the very beginning, making her look up. "We will fight for Gasper," she says, making everyone look at her with determination, as the next fight is issei versus Coriana and Dreophus, plus Appia Dragon, Appia Dragon. The kids cheer as issei cringed at the name but knew he had to keep doing it to make kids happy, even though he now had pride, unlike when he started the Appia Dragon. "Be ready, issei, this will be your defeat. My bishop has something to completely use your one weakness against you," confusing issei as the two entered a pink lavish land with cherry blossoms, making issei feel calm. What a calm place, issei thought as he controlled his rage, building it up in his even dragon part. "Hey, Red Dragon, look at this," Coriana said as he began to strip, taking off her jacket and shirt, and then slowly bending down to her pants, taking them off, making most men aroused. But issei, Vela, and Kai and Kiba were confused. "Excuse me, are you not gonna fight? This isn't a strip club, you know you're a bishop, have class," issei said as he then took out his old Team Orc headband from the old days from his pocket and covered his eyes with it. "What, you're not attracted to me?" Coriana asked, confused, as issei then laughed. "Haha, sorry, you're beautiful, but sluts who strip in battle aren't my type. Besides, your team has class, well, all but the two bishops, I guess," issei mocks as he builds up a pressured burst of air in his fist. However, issei then felt rage. "If bishops are weak, then your little friend is too, and I am no slut, you Appia Dragon," she says, pissing issei off, letting his evil dragon side come out as the air punch turned to black and red flames with silver thorns of light in it. "Don't you dare mock GSBRRRR," issei roars, firing a blast of flames he at the women. "Eat this fallen fire, or my other name for it, the flames of the betrayed," he says in a more dragonic and twisted voice as his dragon emperor and evil dragon side show, almost killing Coriana, but Serorg retired her right before she got hit, almost scared of the power issei showed. The winner by retreat, issei Hayadu, to keep the bishop alive. Seems like that was the only move. Issei has really gotten strong. Does he even have a weakness? Azazel says, making Kai think if he does. "Sorry, I let my anger take hold, and showing some of my secrets is a no-go for me. I apologize, but you took out my little brother, so if anyone else I'm Gremory gets out, you better keep yourself in guard," issei says, going back to his but full of anger towards that dirty trick the bishop tried using. "I apologize for that, but we needed to see if you are still the same now. I am curious," Serorg says as issei takes of the headband with one eye blue and one red and black, showing he is not an evil dragon. He is about to become a heavenly and evil dragon god. Emperor King, as his left eye goes silver and both pupils go emerald with black in them. Yes, left eye is silver with black and emerald pupils, while the right is red with the same. That power that triggers, so he is evil dragon along with a god and heavenly. But he must have a weakness. Kai thinks to himself as he feels power from around him. He has a weakness, and you are lacking in your potential, master, a mysterious voice says in Kai's mind, shocking him, making him summon Graham to the other's shock. "Graham, did you speak to me?" Kai asked him, a panic not hearing that voice before. "No, my lord, I didn't, but why is the pendant glowing?" the sword asked as Kai's pendant glowed the red and black aura of the voice he heard. "Honey, what's wrong?" Kuroka and Tayam asked, and so did Kaneko through a mental link, as he heard the voice just barely, but she did feel Kai's fear. "I'm fine, Kuroka. Mother, it's just. Did Dad have any secrets?" Kai asked, causing Tiamat to look down, and then bend down to Sun and look him in the eyes. Crimson, yes, he did. For example, he stored items of power or old in his home, and he once had to kill a family to keep another safe, even though he didn't want to. Tiamat says as Kai backs up. "Mom, I mean, did he have a book?" Kai says, summoning the book, making Tiamat summon her flames. "Where did you get that? I thought your father and Ajuka got rid of it." Kai handed over it as a book of something Surzex doesn't even want to get involved in. Tiamat says as Kai summons his pawns and H8A dragon arm towards his mother. "Well, Mom, if I want to be Lucifer, I need understand any threat, even if it mean threat of the past," Kai says as he looks just like his father, making Tiamat think back. "Did you ever want to be king, love?" she asked the senior Kai Abaddon. "Well, of course, but if I wish to be king, I want to understand any threat, any protect all I care for, and I won't be king until our son is born and the kings let dragons be in our home," he says, making Tiamat cry. As Kai made her think back to this memory, she looks down, stopping her attack. "Sai, you're just like your father, aren't you?" she says with a tear as Kai has his pawns back away. "Well, I am a free devil with pride and hope towards all, and I fear no one, and I fly free with my own goal as a dragon, kind like you and Dad, Mom," Kai says, hugging his mom as they then look towards the games. Next match, Akino Himejima vs Keisha Abaddon. "Good luck, Akino," Ria says as her queen leaves, but they all hear one thing before the fight. "Good luck, Akino, that fake Abaddon's, but she doesn't need my dad's name anymore, so let go." Timat and Kai yell to the amusement of Team Gremory. "She will try, my love, she will try," Kaneko says, making Kai shut up and focus on the fight. "Kai, stop being coy with your mate and just watch the fight." Timat says, tired of her son. Even though she misses being young, she still has her pride not to be so damn horny. As the Gremory team chuckled at Kai's words and actions, Akino left to fight and not give up. POV: a ruined land with the two in the sky queens in the sky. "So you're the famous queen of Gremory, shall we get started?" Keisha said, clenching her fist as Akino smiled. "Ready to lose are we, because I will win for my family, and I will give a punishment beyond death," Akino said, getting sadistic as Issei and Kai flinched at her words as Issei thought, "Damn Drake, residential, did I act like that for a while? If so, I'm sorry, that's terrifying." Issei said as his dragons only confirmed he did, and sometimes still does because of his evil dragon part. A wind blows as the two stare at each other with fists clenched until a rock falls. The two suddenly rush at each other, starting it off with the assault of magic. One shot fire, the shot water, as they both dodged blaster of pure energy the other had launched. However, Akino used one of the blasts as smoke screen as Keisha couldn't see her. A large burst of lightning shot at the queen, and it split into 3 waves of thunder. "You're finished," Akino proclaimed, coming out of the smoke, firing her thunder at full power. As the queen was shocked, she had her guard down and took one of the hits in her left arm, while the rest she summoned a black portal, absorbing the 2 blasts to Akino's shock. "How did you?" Akino said, confused as the Bale Queen smirked. "I have the power of portals, and let's just say what goes around comes around," Keisha says, shooting Akino with her own thunder as black holes appeared around the queen as she took all the hits as she screamed in pain. "Looks like I win," Keisha said proudly before having a look of pure shock appear on her face as Akino WSS glowing like she was retired. However, her right arm was shining yellow with sparks. "You will feel the power that pushes me," Akino says, walking towards the surprised queen as she shows both her wings. "This power isn't from a fallen and human's daughter," she says, thinking of her mother and father. "This isn't the power of rage or sorrow," as she thinks back to her hatred that shackled her power and heart. She then thinks of Asia, Zenobia, Gasper, Kiba, Kaneko, Gasper, Rosviavsa, and the first time she met Rias, and the times when Issei always helped her. Instead of wanting her body, he wanted to know the real Akino. She smiles, thinking of her family. Team Gremory. This is the power of Team Gremory. This is the power of trust, hope, love, and fortitude. Our resolve is stronger than foe, and this shows it now. Akino then bolts at the queen as she glows, the sign of retiring, but she still pushes herself forward. "Now eat this." Team Gremory's devastating fist of thunder. Akino yells, shocking the crowd as her tears begin to flow as her fist is inches away from the queen, but Akino retires. Her body couldn't take it, she was too injured. "I'm sorry, Rias Issei, I let you all down, please win," Akino thinks as she cries and finally is fully retired with only taking one arm of the Queen of Bale, but yet scaring her because no devil thought Team Gremory could go beyond such limits. "Akino!" Rias cries out as suddenly a large blue and white aura glows from the crowd that Issei can sense clear as day. "Vala? Why is he?" Then it hit Issei, so it seems the white dragon that wants to be the one to surpass domination has found his love, but I will avenge her for you, Vala. Issei thinks with his link to his dragons active that was connected to Kai and Vala as well, which made Vala calm his aura, and Kai shed a tear as they both thought, "You never change, Red One, so please stay that way." As Team Gremory looks down because of what happened to Akino, the dice have been rolled, and fate is twisting the knife as now it's that means Serord can fight, which he will, knowing him. Now this point in the match is the fight of Bale and the Rook, and Kites will stay the same with them cutting off his arm, and him needing the tears. Even if Issei became stronger, they are a family no matter what, and they had to help or at least try. Now Issei versus Kushina, the announcer says as Issei has a dark shadow cover his face as they both enter the ring. "Well, I would say this will be fun, but I can beat you with one arm, so you're not work it, and even if you attack me I can." "Ugh," Kusina says as she gets interrupted by a gut punch. My Isin not even in balance breaker, he is just in base with both gauntlet on his arms. "You say you're strong." TCH, don't make jokes. You almost lost to Aquino, your team lost to Gasper, and you king lost an arm to my friends, and yet you say you're strong. Well, I will show you strong. Issei says as he asks the queen away and fires multiple dragon shots at her. Kushina tries to portal, which she does, and sends them right back at Issei, but he just swats them away like a bug as keeps shooting as Kushina portals. However, she keeps getting cut and burned until her arm gives out, and she falls unable to portal. You see, you're not strong or special at all, in fact you're stupid, Issei said, glaring at the downed queen. If you didn't Nautic, I transfer some percentages of each blast to avoid your portal magic, so when you close them you're on good arm and your body got hit by my mini dragon shots, Issei said as the queen retires, feeling foolish to think she was better than the red dragon incest she was toyed with. Winner Issei Hayato, and the next match is still unknown, the announcer says as Issei returns. I'm sorry, almost my cool and treated your queen like trash, but I will defeat you for my team at my full power if you can make, because your queen didn't even have me release my aura, Issei said, making Serorg smile. You really are different. You know how about settle this and royal your team and mine, no more dice rolls, Serorg said as Issei just sighed. No, that is not needed. I will fight you me with Rias, but it will me versus you and your pawn v. Issei confusing the Bale, but he agreed. As he entered the battlefield, Isu instantly went in from Avrius. What's the matter, Red Dragon Emperor? You wanted me, so bring on, Serorg says as he rushes at Issei, going in for a right hook. However, Red Glow blocks him as Drake comes out of nowhere blocking the punch. I swear by Ophis, Issei, why am I not in the gear now? Is because of our theory involving the pawn, Drake asked as Issei smirked. Yes, and don't you mean the gear Regulus? Issei says, now being so close to the pawn he can tell he is a gear himself. Well, I thought you wouldn't notice. Oh well, I'll. The pawn, now known as Regulus, roars as he turns into Golden Lion. Drake, you handle the I got the Serorg, Issei says, glowing with red and a silver glow with hints of emerald. So this is your Issei, bring it on, Serorg says. The two rush at each other head to head, fist to fiat to the two mighty godlike warriors stand strong and fight. However, while each punch hit, Issei felt weakness in the left arm as he remembered Kiba AMD Zenobia cutting it off as he shed a tear. Thanks guys, he thinks as his fist glows red and emerald with silver light. Eat this Welsh rage, Issei says as fist glows with energy and punching the left arm and then the gut of the Bale King. Wow, talk about power, he can even beat Beerus, I bet, haha his ass, Issei. Shalot says, thinking back to his as he can sense both ki and magic from Issei and Serorg. My lord, Regulus says, trying to get to Serorg. However, Drake throws him away and shoots many dragon shots at him. You're not getting involved, you forget him stronger than you, lion, Drake says as Issei raised his hand. Dryag, stop, I think they are holding back, so let them go all out, then we can as well, Issei says with a smile, enjoying the fight. Are you sure, Issei, this could go wild? Ria said as Issei turned to her, saying that's what I count on. As he then looked towards Serorg with determination. Go all out, if you don't I will take you out now. I rather fight a full power battle of the legends rather than fight a short brawl against someone who is holding back. I mean, that hurts my pride, and I thought you were a strong king, good enough to be one of my many rivals, Issa says, being annoyed, understandably so, since he now has much more pride than before. You're right, Hayato, my apologies for holding back. Warriors like us go all out for our pride and goals we reach in a fight, so I will show you what I got. Regulus now is our balance breaker of the mighty lion, Serorg yells as he calls Regulus and glows gold, and out of the light comes out a lion armor around Serorg, aka Regulus in balance breaker form. So this is your full power? Well, I guess I should follow suit. Drake Welsh Dragon balance breaker, Issei says, calling to his brother as the red smirks and walks to Issei, glowing red and merging back with him as Issei then lets out large amounts of aura as he enters balance breaker. Let's get started, Issei, no holding back, Serorg said. He began to rush at Issei. You're going to need to make me try then, Serorg, Issei said as he rushed at the Bale as well, with both of them clashing heads and fists with an impact so strong craters and shockwaves rang out through the ring and the underworld. Talk about power, I can feel it from here, Kai says as he along with everyone feels all the pressure from the two fighters. Kai, use some of your power for a barrier, Vala yells, entering balance breaker, butting up a shield on his third of the crowd. Got it, Hakai Kane Oro, Kai says as he enters his old form mixed with his own dragon wings and abilities as he flies up, shielding the crowd. Good, we got them protected. What? They think they are in the clear, but the grab and dragon section of THR stands isn't shielded and they can't make it in time. Talk about power, kids, stay behind me, Rainier says as she tries to shield the children, but one of them get caught in the pressure and gets blown away. However, a red flash grabs him and makes a barrier landing in front of Rainier, who is shocked at who this being is. Rainier, sorry, but I needed to ditch the clothes and go back to my armor. It feels calmer plus Super Saiyan God help make this barrier. I need its speed and calm energy. Charlotte says as he stands where THR light was, as his hair and tail is now red and his power feels divine, which Kai and Vala can sense. Damn, this power Issei and that gold guy is giving off is incredible. You know what, I was going to save this for Goku or Giblet, but this barrier needs to stay up. So Charlotte then rises his energy to the top to the point the red of God as blue spark of the form beyond as he yells Kaioken. Charlotte says as he then gets coated in a dark crimson aura and the barrier is stable again. Picture this, but the hair furs between red and blue with the Kaioken. Charlotte, is that really you? Rainier asked in shock because Charlotte was so calm and happy, but seeing him raise his power is like a dragon. Anger and rage fuels the power to go beyond. Yeah, it's me now, get the kids back and may I promote, I need more stamina to keep the Kaioken. Charlotte says, now having his veins show because this is his first time using it. Sure thing, Rainier says as she gets the kids out, just be careful. She says before she get all the crowd somewhere safe to watch the game. I will. Rainier now Kaioken ×0. As an explosion lets out full of blue and red power. Back with the two fighters. Well, I think if we keep this up people will get hurt. Issei says with his normal balance breaker having cracks and holes. Agreed, Issei, so what now? Sarorg asks as his armor has one hole but nothing else besides bruises like Issei. Well, you pushed me, so now I will show you my second strongest power. Issei says, shocking everyone as Hus' normal balance breaker plus his own power made him even, but he is holding back, which is shocking. Alright, Hayate, show me what you got. The Bale yells as he backs up, letting Issei go all out. Sigh. I rise with red and black wings to show my sorrow but also my joy. I rise from my soul that has been broken to see a cardinal to give the life I lost back as my power roars like that of a dragon of rage and potential. Now. Twin Queen Carndale Dragon Promotion. Issei yells, letting out his power in a new armor, making flamea and dust let out as black, red, emerald, and gold aura burst from Isu as his aura walks out of the smoke. Making flamea and dust let out as black, red, emerald, and gold aura burst from Isu as his aura walks out of the smoke. This is Issei when he walks out of the smoke and aura. This is him after it settles, showing both red and black wings, and some look like fallen and angel and devil wings as we see wings 2 from the armor and 2 from his power merge with the armor, as well as the emerald and black cloak on his back and shoots with hints of red and gold as the cloak hides the dragon fury blade and he can use it to hide his mask or calm his aura. Okay, this is my full power, so I am warning you, no, without me going king I can still kill you in this form. Do you wish to concede? Issei asks, not wishing to harm the Bale. Here is my answer. Sarorg yells, feeling the power from the form, so he puts all he has, even his own aura and stamina, in one punch, and Issei just stands there waiting for the attack, but to his surprise the attack hit and broke his armor, making a scar form on his chest in the shape of a fist. What the hell? Issei said, shocked. However, Sarorg was barely able to stand from power from his attack, draining all his power. So your plan was to try and knock me out with that, but instead it just gave me a scar, your bold Bale. So instead I will try to help you and your mother out after this. Issei says, punching Sarorg in gut, knocking him unconscious, making the winner team Gremory. As Sarorg retires, Issei stands tall yelling. This battle was glorious, however remember this, I will be holding a battle for us new kings like me in Kaian days, as the King's Games will be held Monday for all TOs. See me vs Kai and one other king, I will explain the rules then. Farewell everyone, Issei says with pride and soul as he leaves with Team Gremory, and the barriers get put down. Okay, talk about awesome. Vala, Kai and Charlotte say in shock of the power they say as Issei and others leave to graduation, but also to get healed by Asia from Issei's new wound. After the raiding game, Issei and the others met back up and had a party for the graduation festival as Issei and Kai joked about the fight as Issei then saw Rias go back to the Orc Club room. Even after all I did, he still cares for us. Thank you, Issei. Rias says as she looks out towards the moonlight as she hears as Convoy says no thank you, surprising Rias as she turns to see Issei, arms crossed with a smile as they both are in their school uniforms. Issei, how long have you been there? Rias asked as Issei walked close to her. Long enough to know your pain, princess. And I mean thank you, because even if I did die, if it wasn't for you I wouldn't have grown as a person or with a bond in this family, or with Kai and Drake. So thank you, Rias, you turned this pervert from long ago to someone you can be proud of. Issei says, making Rias cry as she hugged him. I've always been proud of you, Issei, and I always will. she says as Issei's hand and Rias's left glows from the mate mark as they in the moonlight. As they for a few minutes they suddenly hear a crash and part to see Kai, Kuroka Team Rias, and Team Issei watching them. Don't mind us, Asia says. Naya, you both are ruined for sure, Kuroka said as Kaneko nodded in agreement. I took his V card, you get the. Reiner said mockingly. Before any more of you talk about my sensei and cousin, get off us. Kai yells as him Gasper and Kiba are squashed by all girls on top of them. I agree with Kai, besides I need to talk to all of you also. Issei then looks around in annoyance. Before we talk, Reiner, get Charlotte, I swear to Ophis he doesn't stay still. Issei said, annoyed as a magic circle appeared, only seeing Vala and Charlotte step out. Sorry, I got your pawn, he needed help ASAP. Vala said to Issei's confusion. What happened? Issei asked his pawn as he slowly walked him to the couch. Well, I almost looked at the moon, Charlotte said to everyone but Issei's confusion. Can you control yourself or no? Issei asked in worry because of the full moon. Charlotte went quiet as Akini stepped forward as all the girls got off Kai. What's so bad about him seeing a full moon? The Gremry Queen asked, confused as Issei turned to her. Charlotte's race has the power to turn into Gant apes when looking at a full moon, however their power multiplies by 0, and some can't control the form, and with pawn pieces you don't want to know what happens. Issei said, shocking everyone present as they realize it's like a wild dragon. Issei tuned to his pawn with anger, now wanting an answer. Charlotte, can you control yourself in that form? Issei asked, letting out power as Charlotte looked at him. No. I haven't tried, all have done is Super Saiyan, and I had amnesia, so if I could control, I don't know if I still can. I haven't tried yet after getting most of memories back, Charlotte says, making Issei calm his power. Then we will have to try before the King's Games, Issei said, turning to everyone. Now everyone listen well, the King's Games involve all of us, me and Kai as dragons and kings who fight beyond God, and the winner of the most recent rating game. Issei said, shocking all present, as that means they must fight each other. I know what you're thinking, and no, there isn't any consciences after all. It isn't a rating. Kai and Rias won't lose their titles, and I already told Surzex about the rules, and now I will tell you. As Issei was about to talk, Kai heard a voice in his head. Kai, listen, I asked Michelle about the book, and it's not in the gear systems, however me and your father found a page in it to give you weapon and contact to the being in it. Samuel said as Kai's rage grew. Samuel, we will talk later, however tell Michael the favor he owes me is the truth of the book, if not that then he owes me training. Kai thinks because of his new angel powers as he then listens to Issei. Okay, this King's Games rules are simple. They are like the rating games, except each king picks only up to members of their team to fight with them, or in separate matches, but not matter how many times you win. The rule is if your king is defeated you lose, just like the games, Issei said as everyone took it, now knowing this is more based off of strategy, and even more it's based on team plans. Wait, Issei, can we use Phoenix tears? Ravel asked, concerned as she is the only person who can regenerate. Don't worry, Ravel, we still can use tears, weapons, and every spell. The only limits is no potion or death or seals, so we can make the fights more fun. Issei letting the news sink in as Kiba walked up to Issei and asked, how long do all of us have? Which is what everyone wanted to know. Only days and Mafriat, so enjoy it while you can and train, and my house will as well. After all, think long and hard about who you will fight with, and farewell, Issei said as he walked away from everyone, opening a portal with Ravel, Reiner, and Charlotte following him as they went back to the Haida house. And yes, Issei's parents know Rias and everyone is okay now. After Issei left, everyone was quiet and thinking about what happened. Okay, so I guess I should go. Oh wait, before I do, hey cuz, may I exchange pieces with you? Kai asked as Rias went to sit down. Of course, Kai, after all you need a queen and you can exchange as long as you do two things, Rias says to the confusion of everyone. First, take care of her because I view her as a little sister and a kind soul. Second, please help me find a pawn or rook since I don't want to separate your family, and I trust you, Rias says to the shock of Kai, as he didn't think Rias cared so much for Kaneko, but yet again he feels the same. Alright, I agree to your terms, however Kaneko will still be your little one that you took care of. Also, I have two pieces for you already. I am thinking of a yokai or dragon for you, Kai says as he reaches out his hand to Rias as she shakes his hand as the deal is made. We will miss you, Kaneko, please keep in touch, Ase says as Gasper tears up and everyone hugs her as Rias then walks towards the Nico. Rias I. Before Kaneko could talk, Rias brought her into a hug as Kaneko cried. Don't be upset, you have grown so much, and I'm so proud of you because you are now and always will be your own person, but we will miss you, Ria says as the two cry and then break the hug while Kai and his team left with Kaneko, and as the circle closed there was a knot which Akino read. Thanks, cuz it means a lot you exchanged pieces with me. I know it hurt, and if I were in your shoes I would feel the same as you now, so here is my address so you can visit us anytime. From Kai Crimson Abaddon. Well, not that the exchange is done, let's go home and make sure we help Kaneko pack when she is ready. Ria said as everyone nodded and left. After that day each one of the houses trained and prepared for the King's Games, knowing well that each team is as strong as any army. For Issei's team in the mountains, Issei trained Charlotte and himself to grow their magic abilities as Rainier and Revel practiced new dragon-based spells like fire-based power and light spears and speed, while for Revel she used it to boost her Phoenix powers to test each other's limits. However, while the two practiced magic, the spells broke as Issei and Charlotte tested each other's physical strength, causing the ground to shake. Not bad, Charlotte, this is incredible, however I need you to show me all you can do. Issei said as he punched Charlotte back, as Charlotte glowed red and yellow by promoting to Rook and SSJ to take the punch as he countered the blow with a that Issei caught. So this is your limit really, Charlotte? Issei said as he then saw Charlotte's hand glow green and yellow as he turns SSJ yelling, you can't block now, eat this wild cannon. As a large explosion was sent off from the blast as Charlotte jumped out of the smoke knowing the attack hit, but as the dust settled Issei was perfectly fine, and in fact he had a flame shield around him that he dispelled. What do you think, that was my new move, Ray Reflector, I can use it as a shield or... As soon as the shield was gone Charlotte felt pain and showed some blood on his hands. Or I reflect as a sharp strike, but that's enough training for us three, right girls? Issei said, looking at the two with many shields to protect themselves from the feedback of him and Charlotte. I take those shields as a yes. However, Charlotte didn't want to stop, so he made a risky play while he was still in SSJ as his right arm glowed white. I am not done, eat this. Charlotte yelled as he threw a silver blast at Issei, but before Issei could dodge, the attack went into the sky as Charlotte looked up stating, you think I am done? You're wrong, I find my brother again. I will make it home, and I will beat you, Issei, because scions have no limits. Charlotte said as his eyes went pure red. As suddenly two gold items dropped from Charlotte's pocket. You know what this form means if you watched GT and Super POV Team Kai during the day's training. They were at his estate in the underworld training each one of their skills in the training room. As Kai and Kaneko walked through the house, they saw Kuroka and Siegfried each fighting the hooded pawns. The of them seemed to have gotten stronger, don't you think, love? Kaneko asked as Kai ignored her guest Ion as he walked to the dragon's skull on his wall. Sorry, what was that, kitten? I am trying to find that key. Why did Dad use a dragon's skull as his key? Ugh, there it is. Kai said, moving one of the fangs on the skull as a door opened through the mirror. Okay, 1, what is this, and 2, I asked, do you think they got stronger? Kaneko asked as the two went into the room and down some stairs. Yes, I do, I'm proud of them, but now I need your help. Kai said, summoning his book. See, my father had many weapons, magic skills, or trinkets, however this book was sealed, and now it calls to me, thus I need your help with research, or we both go see Graphia. Kai said as they went to a dusty room with many magic circle crests and swords books along with lab notes for dragon fruit and about the red dragon and white dragon gear, shocking the two. Okay, Kai, why are there these notes? Kaneko asked, reading the red dragon notes. I don't know, the book must have blocked this room off because before all I saw was some books and clothing. It wasn't supposed to be a second basement. Kai said, shocked as he looked towards his book and a few notes with the name Ifrit. Okay, Kaneko, please tell Graphia we need to talk to her, and we both head to the Gremory estate soon. Kai said as his queen called ASAP, knowing Kai must be worried as she saw his red and silver aura form with gold eyes because he felt like this was important. Son, I must warn you, be careful about that book. Ifrit is nothing to act calm about. If it wasn't for your mate you would die. Abaddon said as his son was shocked at the news. Dad, what do you mean it's just a spell book? Kai asked his father as his silver dragon aura calmed but not his mixed eyes. No, Kai, it's a gear to be accurate, and with your power it gives you a gauntlet and any weapon, but it needs magic and a mate to keep the host a pure warrior. His father said as Kai closed his eyes, seeing his dad with the link as the two felt a dark inferno of many magics in the link. Hello, young Abaddon, if you wish power and growth, open the book. A dark voice said as Kai felt no fear, but his father put a hand on his shoulder. Son, be careful, I have your back. Abaddon said as Kai smiled and walked towards the book, and a black and red flame blinded him and jolted him awake in a cold sweat as Kai looked around and saw Kaneko and Sona. Kitten, what happened? Kai asked as she lifted him up. My king Sona asked me for a talk between kings and Grafia said to come over whenever you need. Kaneko said, placing Kai across from Sona. Okay, thanks Kaneko, now if it's alright go improve with the others including the 2 cloaks. Kai asked to Kaneko confusion, but Kai you are. I appreciate the worry but I need all of us to think about the games after all they are about to begin. Kai said, interrupting his queen as she left, closing the dragon's skull so they keep it a secret. Sigh, alright, what do you need Sona? Kai asked as Sona glared at him. How? She said as her look froze him. How what? Kai asked, not wanting to know what the Citri is thinking. How is Kaneko so strong and breaking her limits? Tell me how you did it. Sona asked as Kai turned his head the other way. I have no clue what you mean, Kai lied, knowing his mate grew in many ways, one of which was his love. Fine, don't tell me, but instead I got a game for you, Sona said, placing a chess set, getting Kai's attention. If I win you tell me, but if you win I drop it, Sona says as Kai sits down with a smile. Sure, why not? Kai says as the game begins. 0 minutes later. No, impossible. Sona stutters as she sees Kai beat her Sona Citri in chess. Well, that was fun, see you later, have days to train, so thanks for the fun, Kai says as he gets up and leaves to the Gremry estate with one of his pawns and Kaneko, while Sona is still speechless. Now I have to tell my mother who my husband will be, Sona says as she now feels confused at Kai's intelligence. Back with Kai, he teleported with a magic circle to the Gremry home as they walk in. My king, what should I do? The serious cloaked pawn asked. I say see if your new magic works, because armor cow'll work, but I know your true power, Kai says as he pumps into a tall man and his masked pawn. Kai, how are you ready for the games? To Kai's surprise, Serorg was talking to him. Yes, I am cousin, however what are you doing here? Kai asked as Serorg looked at his pawn. Well, I'm here to see Issei for my mother. And who is that? Serorg asked, pointing at the pawn. He is a new recruit, but I am not you, so I won't say who he is. As for Issei, go to the Dragon Mountains, you were off by a couple 100 miles, Kai says as he passes Bale with the book in his hands. Okay. Stay here for now and be on guard, Kai says as he and Kaneko go see Grafia until Kai stops. And be careful not to reveal your power, Fenris, Kai says, revealing the name of his pawn as they are outside Grafia door. Hello Grafia, I must speak with you, Kai says as they hear a loud noise from the room as Grafia opens the door. Oh Kai, what is it? She asks as Kai looks towards Kaneko. Well, I need you to help Kaneko learn about being a queen. I would have asked Sona, but she seemed down after her loss in chess, Kai says, making Grafia's eyes almost fall out of the socket. Kai, you don't know? She asked to the king and queen's confusion. No, what exactly? Kaneko asked with confusion. Well, you see, whoever beats her in chess will be her husband, Greya says, making Kai enter his dragon form for a few seconds before going human again. What do you mean her husband? I did not agree to this, Kai yells before Kaneko calms him down. I mean you can't stop it because her mother agreed to the rule, Grafia says as Kai calms down. Fine, I will be her husband, just let me talk to her, Kaneko, good luck, Kai says, leaving with Fenris as he gets a headache. Back with Sona, we see her pacing and being confused until Kai's circle opens as the king and pawn are back home. Sona, come with me, Kai says as he brings her to his office and locks the door. Kai, what are why? Before Sona could finish, Kai at her, and then broke it. If you have to marry me, I will get used to it, Sona. After all, you don't see any problem with it, Kai says as he lets his instincts in as he bites right under Sona's shirt collar, marking her on the right side of the neck, making Thr Citri Eris moan as Kai backs up. And now that we are engaged, that still feels weird to say I marked you, just so you know you can use my power like Kuroka and Kaneko, while I can use your ice powers, Kai safe, unlocking the door and smiling before he goes, leaving Sona frustrated that she got teased and left horny. Sigh. Okay, I guess it's time to train, but before I do, Ifrit, let's make a deal, Kai says as his father had his baka and a blur and in red and black power covered his right arm. While that happened and the other 2 days of the preparation, Team Gremry trained their power, speed and magic control to be ready to fight. After seeing Kai and Issei train, they knew they had to as well. Even Rias was training as her nay limit to control her magic by condensing her pod and now using 0 pounds weight in total, pounds each limb, and each one of them could at least train with high-class devils or run and dodge Tannen's attacks. For Team Issei, they trained and unlocked some secret weapons along with more durability, and giving Lord Agioka some items from Shallot's home to grow, known as the senza beans, which were just like Phaonix tears, Issei went to visit the Bale house to keep his word by using his power of Great Red and Booby Lingle. He was able to wake up Lady Bale, making everyone happy as he left the house, seeing a family with tears and smiles. But at last the 3 days have come and the King's Games has begun, with it being able to be seen all over the supernatural world from Asgard to Kyoto, and even Heaven and the Dragon territory. These games were fights God wouldn't want to miss as things began. Alright everyone, are you ready? These battles ready to begin. Now facing the left side of arena, Team Gremory. The announcer yelled, showing Team Gremory ready to fight, all holding a RD bandana around their arms with the crowd going wild. And at the right corner, Team Abaddon, as red and silver flames along with wind strike the right corner, showing Kai's team making most of the crowd go wild, knowing of his potential. And last but not least, in the northern corner of the field, Team Hayato. The announcer yells as black and red flames explode the field with emerald and pink light, and a mighty roar clearing the smoke and flames to see Charlotte, Issei, Rainier, and Ravel with their auras showing, making all yell and then go quiet with the power they let out. Okay everyone, this fight will begin, starting with Team Abaddon versus Team Hayato. Now pick your warrior, the announcer said as 2 barriers hid the 2 teams so they could think. POV Kai. Okay you two, we need you show the world who you are in your voice. Kai said as his 2 pawns stood up ready to fight. POV Team Issei. Okay Charlotte, go all out, got it, we have hunch who Kai will send, so show the underworld a scion's might. Issei said, making Charlotte smirk as he entered the ring. Dimshin. Not this will be a battle in a place both fighters agree on. For Charlotte and the pawns it will be the Cell Games arena. As the 2 fighters teleport into the ring, all we see is the 2 figures and Charlotte staring each other down as magic communication circle appear under them, aka translator for the other houses. So you're my opponents? Well, my name is Charlotte, nice to meet you, and you two are? Charlotte asked as the 2 took of their cloaks, showing these 2. The one with a sword scar on his eye and physical power. More magic and physical power. We are the pawn twins of Abaddon, Fenris/Fenrir, the children of Fenrir. The twins say at the same time, shocking everyone because they now know Kai has the children of a god-killing dog as his pawns. Charlotte, be careful, those are strong and with pawn pieces the mutated with many magic types, you need to be on guard. Issei says through a magic circle by his ear. I know Issei, that's why I won't be their fool. Charlotte says before yellow aura wraps around Charlotte, and wind picks us as the twins look to see his power. As Charlotte roars, charging all his power, an explosion wraps around him, and his hair turns gold and long. Charlotte roars, charging all his power, an explosion wraps around him, and his hair turns gold and long. Picture this, but with some black material on half his chest along with half of his armor. Sorry about the wait, allow me to show you. Super Scion. Charlotte says with a heavy and stern voice as his voice changed with the form. As everyone feels the power from as the twins look at each other and shout promotion to Queen. The twin then rush at Charlotte at once as they use their speed and power to repeatedly attack Charlotte with rapid punches. However, the Scion doesn't seem concerned, but he still blocks as Fenris suddenly moves and increases the power in his punches along with his speed as ice and claw form on his hands. Now eat this beast, hailstorm. Finn yells as his fist gets faster and stronger, AMD sharper with each punch. However, Charlotte used his tail to knock Finn back, but Finn instantly punched Charlotte's arm before being thrown. Is that you got? Charlotte says, but suddenly his arm starts to freeze and Finn stands up. Eat this. He yells, launching at Charlotte at full speed. Charlotte dodges by flying in the air last second, but as he does, a lightning storm hits him, freezing his leg as he turns to his right, seeing Fenris and sword using lightning and ice. Haha, time to lose too, fool. Fenris says, using his legs and sword to make Charlotte dodge and lead him to the ground as Finn jumps towards the 2 with Charlotte not looking at his opponent. Now be gone. The 2 yell as they strike at Charlotte with shockwave roaring as the crowd can't see because of the smoke and power from it, but as it clears, Issei smiles while all others are shocked. As they see Charlotte blocking the 2, eyes closed using tail and arm as the twins are speechless. Really, you think you're the only twin here? Then be mistaken. Charlotte says, roaring into God as the ice is broken and his leg and arm free, making the 2 go back to the ground. How did our attacks not work? Finn yells as Fenris looks at his brother. Finn, you know he said he was a twin, and he must be a strong warrior as well. His body felt tough, like he had fought tooth and nail, almost dying. I can tell I almost died too. Fenris says, touching his chest, bearing his scar from when they served Loki. He's not wrong, Finn, but he isn't right either, because before me and my twin teamed up I was like this a long time ago. Charlotte says, landing in front of the 2 going into base. However, I want to see what you can do for an hour. Promotion, Queen, Charlotte says, reaching into she pocket and throwing something at the twins. Hey, Charlotte, are sure about this? Issei asked, scared of what Charlotte threw them because he knows what it is. Of course I want to go all out and go beyond my limit, Charlotte said as the twins see 2 earrings to wear. They are called patera earrings. You use them to fuse for hour as long as you aren't a Kai or the same being, and the fusion will have its being while it uses your powers and memories. Charlotte says, explaining the patera earrings as the twins look at each other, and Fen puts his right ear. You better not regret this, Charlotte, Fenris says, putting his on the left ear. Suddenly they glow and the twin are collided into each other, as a blinding light shines, stunning all but Kai as he feels power and his pawns merge into a ultimate class being. As we now see out of the light a warrior with a black shirt, red scarf, and silver armbands with silver hair, and wolf ears with blue and gold eyes with sharp teeth, and a sword of ice and silver energy with lightning and concentration. Alright, if you wish to know my power, time to show you all I got. A fusion between brothers at the maximum. Fen and Fenris all in one. Call me Fenrin, the ultimate god hunter. The fusion Fenrin yells, letting out his power, shocking all, even Kai and Issei, as they make Charlotte smile. Alright, if this is all you got, I can't wait to fight you, Charlotte says, entering God and going into a fighting stance. However, before he could move, Fenrin moves behind him and Charlotte back and rushes at him with speed and focus. Charlotte can't keep up as he tries to block each attack, but it starts to sting his hand and he summons his claws with ice and thunder, clawing his chest as Charlotte counters with his tail and blasting him with a wild cannon, making Fenrin get caught off guard. As Charlotte breaths, Fenrin gets out of the rubble and with some blood on his face. Damn, talk about a shock, seems you still got life in you, Fenrin says as Charlotte gets back into a fighting stance as he walks towards him. It's not that, it's more that I wanted to test your before I go all out. Sorry about that, but now I need to go. Wolf versus Primal Scion power, Charlotte yells, building up a sphere of white energy as he throws at the sky to the shock of Fenrin, now burst open and mix awake in fury. Charlotte yells as his eyes go red and he suddenly absorbs the energy ball back into him as he glows with silver aura, and then suddenly that aura goes red and gold as he opens a crater in the ground, and thunder and hurricanes as Charlotte roars, and Fenrin, Kai, and all others are in shock at what they see, but Issei is calm and begins to laugh as the dust clears and a hole is in the dimensional space as we see a man with a red tail, red fur and black hair with gold and red eyes fly above the hole in the arena and dimensional. You all are done now, Issei says as Charlotte then speaks. Sorry for the wait, but it's time to go all out, beast versus beast, because. Then the two speak at the same time, yelling, this is Super Scion. Issei and Charlotte says at once, this is the power of Super Scion, and since he still has his tail and power beyond limits, we finally see the power of the Scion's primal evolution. We are a warrior race. Boost. I am a fusion of twins. Hawkeye. We don't have limits, we are gods. Plus, we see the power of Super Scion and the fusion of twin pups, both at queen form, ready to fight, no holding back. So Issei, this was your key? Kai asks, intrigued by the amount of power. Kinda see, just let Charlotte explain his power, because Rias, Kai, both of you are going to see what a 0,000-year-old Scion can do when he walks down the path of his race from divinity and primal power. Both at once, Issei says, shocking the two as they watch Charlotte and Fenrin. So Charlotte is your true power? Fenrin asks as Charlotte lets out his power. No, not exactly, you see, Super Scion God is more my heritage and my comrades. That form needed other Scions to help me at the beginning, but since me and my brother are descendants of true and first Super Scion God, we only needed the form to activate once, and then we controlled it completely. However, Super Scion is the primal Scion power, using my pride, emotions, and last but not least my own will to go beyond SSJ. Thus me and my twin both have two roads to walk, one divine and one is Scion will, Charlotte says, making Fenris grin. Okay, if that's your power of primal roots, haha, I can't wait to see your full power. Fenrin yells, rushing at the new Charlotte with a fury of blows, but Charlotte was now blocking them with no problem until he keeps up the rapid amount of attack, with Fenrin using his sword to strike. However, Charlotte blocks it with his fingers, almost breaking it with the shockwaves of energy. How the hell you blocked my power with your fingers? Fenrin says, confused as Charlotte breaths in and breaths out. You two are a lot stronger now, but if you can't beat me, then get out of my ring, Charlotte yells as he punches Fenrin in the gut, and then ing him towards the ground. As the fusion falls, Charlotte builds up energy in his hand, firing a SSJ wild cannon right at the fusion. No. I won't lose to you, Fenrin yells, getting back into battle, pushing against the wild cannon. Eat THSI 0 reflector. he says as a shield of ice and energy pushes against the wild cannon, but Shalot is shocked but not by the blast shield but by Fenrir. His hair spike up and black and gold electricity sparks form, and his arms bulk up and grow claws and fur, and his eyes have a spark of red in them as he breaks Shalot's attack to show Fenrir in a new look. What the hell was that? Kai and issei say as they both are confused by the new look. Well, looky here, seems like someone broke through his limits. Shalot says, hovering in front of Fenrir. I know it seems like you made me push myself to magic and power I never knew I had, and judging by the look and power of the form-fixing human and wolf, let's call this Prime Wolf. Fenrir yells, letting out large amounts of power as he froze the ground below him. Well, shall we go all out? Shalot said, reaching out for a fist bump. Hell yeah, we are the gods of potential after all. Fenrir says, fisting bumping Shalot as the two then fly back. As they flew back, they let out all their clashing at each other, while all from the teams and crowds were in shock by the power they let out, causing shockwaves, and each collision caused cracks in the world as one punch caused power to break through both of the. This is incredible, but don't let you guard down, Fenrir says, grabbing Shalot's tail with his other hand, throwing him back and cuffing both his arms, and then moving them outwards as lightning flashed, as in his left arm was fire, and right was ice, both with thunder. Now eat this, Shalot Inferno Blizzard. Fenrir yelled, blast Shalot with a fire and ice thunderstorm combo, and as the attack hit, all we hear is a large yell and blue light. Haha, seems like he lost issei. Kai says as issei then laughs as the blue light grew and felt holy but also full of rage. You see, Kai, your fighter did the same for mine, because we are about to see a form I haven't even seen Shalot use. Issei says as the smoke clears. To all shock, we see Shalot with blue hair and his armor blown off. Sorry about that, but I'm not holding back now. Sorry about that, but I'm not holding back now. Shalot says as the smoke is gone, showing Super Saiyan Blue. What is this Super Saiyan? Fenrir mocks as Shalot steps forward, yelling Kaioken. Now covered in red and blue aura. You asked, so here it is, a form Eve trying to unlock. Basically it's the Super Saiyan form, Super Saiyan God, but we call blue now, and it gives me power, energy, control, and focus, and with Kaioken on top all skills are heightened, not to mention this time. Shalot yells now in Kaioken blue times, making for holes and flames around the area. Think of it like this SSJ times, or maybe a little more since I have no limit. Makes sense now, you not? Basically think of blue for DB fans, or with a times multiplier and or so stronger than normal due to the Queen promotion. And yes, same can be said for, but blue has more energy, and for Shalot magic control to handle it. What the, so that how strong, yo? Ugh. Before Fenrir could finish, Shalot was right in front of him with a punch to the gut. You could have beat me, and since our power was similar, but now you have no chance. Shalot says as Fenrir has veins showing and aura leaking as he floats closer to the ground after the hit he face. You think you can win? Your hell wrong, eat this, my full power. He yelled, punching Shalot nonstop. As Shalot didn't guard, he kept getting punched but didn't move until Fenrir was out of steam. Are you done? Shalot asked, wiping blood off his cheek as HR then ed Fenrir towards the ground and the cuffing his hand with one a fist of yellow ANF green and the other purple energy. Eat this, wild GA gun. Shala yells, firing the blast. No, I can still fight. Zero reflector. Fenrir yells, trying TI block and send it back, however he was just being pushed further down. Well, you are strong, I'll give you that, but eat this, Kaioken time. Zero. Shalot said as more ready power flared and Fenrir was pushed to the ground from the blast. All kings watched, seeing what happened as Fenrir was barely standing against the warrior, as he then stared at Shalot eye to eye after the dust settled. Huff. Not done yet. Fenrir says, making a fist to punch, but right before he swung his fist the two pups defused and fell. Ow. What happened? Fen says in shock and pain after the fusion ran out. I have a hunch and I don't like it. Fenris says as Shalot looks at them. You're right, you won't like it. After pushing through your limit, and using more power than you had, the fusion time cut in half and ran out. Shalot says as he punches Fen in the gut, knocking him out. You think I'm done, eat this. Fenris yells, trying to punch, but Shalot was too fast and knocked him out and turning base. Well, that was a fun fight, but I might want to grab these. Shalot says, grabbing the patera from the twins, and is about to leave until Fenris stands up. Shalot, mark my words, we will beat you and get stronger on our own. Fenris says to his rival as the win went to Shalot, and the three teleported to their teams. Nice win, Shalot, you've gotten strong for sure. Ravel says as Rainier walks to him. Good fight out there, rest now. She says as she goes into the battlefield to fight her opponents of Gremory. Thanks, Yugu. Before Charlotte could finish, he clasped as Ravel caught him. Thanks, Ravel. Charlotte says as he sat on the bench. You overdid it, Charlotte, by pushing past your limits, and proud now rest. Issei says, walking up to his pawn, grabbing a green bean from his pocket and giving it to Charlotte. Thanks. Good old Senzu. Charlotte says, eating UT, and just like a phoenix tear, he is back to full recovery, and now stronger due to a Zenkai. POV Kai. Oh, damn it. Fenris says as he gets healed, watching the fight with his team and brother by him. You both did well, I'm so proud that you tried your best. Kai says, ruffling their hair. Thanks, master. So brother, why are you not taking a tear? Fen says as he turns to his brother in a few bandages and in a healing spell from Kuroka. I am not stubborn, it's called I need to know this pain so I can know what our power's goals should be. Fenris says as he stands up, still injured. Brother, we will find our own way of power, our own fusion, so watch out, Charlotte, we will win next time. Fenris says, making Kai smile, being proud for them. Now everyone, Rainier versus Rias and Aquino. As they all were talking, the girls began their fight in the park of Issei's death and resurrection. So this the place fitting. Rias and Rainier both thought, okay Rainier, all I'm going to say is I'm going to put my training to use. Rias says, with red and black oars forming an Akini golden thunder around her. Alright Rias, I will do the same. Rainier says, with pink and silver aura around her and pink and black energy around her fist. Ah! They yelled as Rainier charged at Rias and Aquino, and they did the same. With the fury punches and magic blasts, the battle was blinding. Every time Rias Aquino blasted her back, Rainier rushed at them, knowing long range is their power but close is her power. Rias then punched Rainier. The punch knocked the fallen back, showing Rias condensed her pod into her fist. So you want to play that game, fine. Rainier says, spreading both fallen and dragon wings and focusing her magic into a light spear. Oh no, you don't, devastating fist of thunder. Aquino yelled, rushing at Rainier. However, to her surprise, Rainier blocked it with a SYPH made from a light spear, and the blade of it is dragon fire and pod from her necklace all in one. I call this SYPH of sorrow. Rainier says, clashing with Aquino's fist as the two sent a shockwave and broke the ground below them, but not the fountain. Then the two jumped back to see the thunder cut and burned Rainier's arm and cheek. Aquino, however, her right hand was burned due to the holy and pod power. I got to give you credit, if I wasn't part fallen I would have lost my hand or my life. Aquino Saya as Rainier smiles, twirling her SYPH. Well, I would agree to that. If that punch hit me I would be dead. Rainier says as the ground rumbles. Behind you! Rias yells, emerging from the ground with a miniature Giga Star in her hands, firing it. Cute trick, bud. Rainier then cuts it in half, sending some of it towards Aquino, retiring her. You need to try better. Rainier says as she dispels her spear and summon him daggers. Well, I would say I'd rather die than retire. I want to see this fight with you versus Kai. Good luck. Rias Gremory, retire. She says, making Rainier the winner. Has everyone teleport back to the stands. Great job, Ray-chan. Issei says, giving her a hug as the battlefield formed into the dragon ruins. Hey Issei, you better be ready, because after I beat these two you're next. Kai yells as he enters the ring. Good luck, you two, Issei, watch close. Ravel says as they leave to the ring. The Mudins, we see two circles, one with Charlotte and Rainier, and one with Kai. Well, this will be fun. Kai says as Rainier and Charlotte get in a fighting stance. Rainier, I will go in close, you rest. Charlotte says, turning SSJ. Oh, you still got power, then here is some of mine. Kai says as he lets out some power, radiating a red, silver, and gold arrow with black outline. The air pressure from the power was making Charlotte shake, as it felt like he was looking into the eye of every storm. Charlotte, you're not doing this alone, let's ask together. Rainier says as the both get into battle. Yeah, sure. Charlotte says, rushing at Kai, however Kai blocks it with one fist. Not bad. Kao says, pissing Charlotte off. Don't you dare mock me. Charlotte yells, attacking with more and more punches with his energy as Kai blocks and dodges. Okay, that's enough. Kai says, jumping over Charlotte ing back as the Scion tries to rush at Charlotte. All we hear is one word. Hakai. Kai says, firing a mastered and controlled pod blast out of his hand. As the explosion goes off, we see Rainier forming her SYPH, blocking the pod. What the hell, that felt like Barris. Charlotte says in shock of the power. Charlotte, listen, you go in far and close, I will go at the pod. After all, we both are still drained from our fights. Rainier says as Charlotte gets up. Sure thing. Kaioken ×0. Charlotte says, going after Kai. Oh, ready for more. AI says as he and Shalot clash with the fury of rapidly power punches at each other, with them both getting launched away from the blows. Shalot fire every kind of energy blast he can as Kai swats them away and shoots small blast of pod from his fingers wrapped in fire. Oh no, you don't, Rayar says, getting the way of the pod. However, before the blasts were taken care of, Kai rushes at Rainier with A to the gut as she falls and glows. You know I would have defeated you at all out, but I'm only using 0%. I want this fight to be fun, not death. Kai says, reveling how much power he has. Shalot, I'm sorry, Rainier says as she retires. Okay, now are you next? Kai says, turning to Shalot as he holds a moon in his hands. You know what, thanks Kai, now I can go all out. Shalot says, throwing the moon and turning God as he then grows. I am knowing more interested than I was before, this will be fun. Kai says as he and the crowd she a giant ape Shalot. Kai says as he and the crowd she a giant ape Shalot. Picture this but with broken armor, well this will be fun. Kai says as Shalot teleports in front of him, punching him. Red Dragon Emperor, what is this? The announcer says. It's simple, Shalot is in God form and Rook, however God was strong already, so Shalot added a ×0 full boost great ape form, and in normal fights he would be slow, but in God he just got incredibly strong and fast. Issei explains as Shalot goes back and forth trading blows with Shalot until builds up a large sphere of destruction and fire, throwing it at Shalot. I would block this or die, Shalot, because. Kai then turns to the fake moon. Kai. He says, destroying the moon, making Shalot go base again. However, as the pod was clashing with him, the blast exploded, and silver light glowed from the dust, as we see a silver flash jump in front of Kai. What the hell, how did you survive that? What the hell, how did you survive that? Kai says as Shalot says nothing. Fine, eat this. Kai yells, firing fire-based pod at Shalot. However, he closes his eyes and dodges it all, and just like a blur he punches Kai in the gut, knocking him back. Kai, let me hand this, me versus a fake. Samael says, confusing Kai, but he still lets him switch it as his left arm gains his black wing marks, and his hair goes black and becomes spiky. So you dare use the power of the angels from your world? Then I will show you the power of an angel and the true devil. Samuel says as he builds up power. Samuel attack with rapid punches and light spears, however Shalot them all until the spears wrapped in pod as well, making Shalot get stabbed in his arm as Samuel gets hit in the cute as he sees a punch of air pressure, making Samuel smile, switching back with Kai. How? I thought you took my place, Samuel? Kai says, confused as he sees Shalot fing blue. You see, Kai drained his stamina with a rival power, and now he is done. Samuel says as Shalot passed out from his new form and drain of all energy. What a shock, a crowd. Kai is the winner. Announcer yells as Rainier and Shalot take a Phoenix tear, and Kai is in the middle of the ring. Issei, I beat your team, now it's you and me, and I am not holding back after all. If you really are strong, face me right now, or you really are the grabbing dragon. Kai yells, mocking. Issei has a red and gold flash of energy, rushes in front of Kai only to be Issei pissed off. You will eat those words when I'm done. Issei says as the two teleport to a gladiator arena with both on the opposite side of each other, and Team Gremory watches, wanting to see all Kai and Issei can do, along with both King's teams thinking the same. Well, how about we give them a show? Kai says, taking off his jacket only for it to sink into the ground, shocking all but Issei as he wore a weighted jacket. Now Kai wears his Timat gloves and a silver and black undershirts with a red flame design. So you wore a weighted jacket. TCH, we think alike. Issei says, taking off his jacket to show it sinking as well. Issei now wears a red shirt with a black wing design on his back and black pants with a gold and emerald dragon design, and his old pawn piece form his king form as a necklace. Seems like both these two will go all out incredible. Azazel says in the booth with Serzek Serorg and Michael Yakason and Timat. Not surprised it is Issei and Kai, both dragon hybrid kings and both have records, but by experience I think Issei will win. Serzek says, shocking Timat and Michael. Pardon, Devil King, but my son is far stronger the Drag and his host. Timat says, knowing Kai will win. Agreed, he has the power of the many different warriors like Samuel and a bond with Ophis. I must say Issei won't win this. Michael says, thinking Kai will beat Issei. Heck no, the Red Dragon is the strongest man I know, he will win, not my cousin. Sariorg states with pride as Azazel says nothing, only wanting to see this fight. Shall we stop their talking and fight? Kai asks as Issei walks forward and Kai does the same. Sure thing, Issei says as the two stop and fist bump each other, and then punch each other back with a massive shock wave from just their punch. Kai. Kai yells, firing many blasts of destruction, while Issei blocks most them and rushes at Kai. Oh no, you don't, I'm not that easy to hit. Flame whirlwind. Issei yells as his body is wrapped in fire, and he is in front of Kai, punching his gut, sending him back as the flame disappears. As Kai flies into the wall, he catches himself and spread his wings, charging at Issei. Eat this dragon, charge. Kai yells as he wraps himself in fire and pod. However, Issei dodges the attack and pushes Kai to a knee, and he pulls his arm back and closes his eyes as Kai is in pain, almost having his arm ripped off, until a magic circle/crest appears on Kai's aura and Kai sees Issei back, trying to fly out of Issei's eyesight. However, Issei snaps his fingers using Husk Dragon Shatter skill to try and destroy Kai's magic. No, no, no. Kai says, pulling of his own aura that had the crest on it, building up a dragon inferno in his hands and blasting it at Issei, and it explodes before it hits, as the magic spell had no body to lock to, thus it went off like a bomb, destroying Kai's attack as he flies back to the ground. You think I would fall for that twice in my life? Kai says, remembering when he got the scar above his eye from when Issei first used that on him. Fair enough. Issei says, rushing at Kai, however blocks and tries to punch Issei, but instead he jumps using Issei's fist as a bar so he could go behind Isu and butt him in a headlock, shocking the dragon. Why? You. Issei stutters, trying to get out of the lock. What's the matter, grabbing dragon, aren't you catching a pay? Kai mocks, making Isu attack wild as he summons Ascalon, making Kai jump off him and letting go of the headlock. Damn, I thought you would never do that unless you're trying to get boobs of your own, princess. Kai says, saying the lyrics to a pay dragon, making attack on handed get everyone's attention. That's it. Azazel yells, shocking everyone. What is it, brother? Michael asks, confused. Kai found Issei's weakness. Now that Issei cares more about what people think of him because of his pride and growth, the Appia dragon song and nicknames hurt his pride when mentioned in battle, and he can't not listen and fight at the same time. Azazel says as Issei gets punched in the gut and face, proving Azazel's point. This a dirty trick for an Abaddon, but to be fair, your mother is only a king. While Issei then throws Kai away and attack with a dragon shot, shocking Kai. Am the dragon god emperor, and these games won't work anymore. After all, the Graben dragon children are watching, and I agreed to that song, so they are happy. Issei yells, letting out his power as Kai looks at him. Fine, I guess you're right. Sai armor of the king. Kai says as he summons his armor of when he helped the pups. Well, if you want to play it like that. Twin King Cardinal Dragon promotion. Issei yells, summoning his gears and Twin King form with the hood above his mask and no sword as he is storing up his power. Now the two in armor stare each other down, ready for round. Plus, I will. Sparks of holy and devil and dragon energy. Not lose. Divide KN boost. I will win this fight. The thoughts of both Kai and Issei as the growed hers the aura and gears, causing energy to surge. As the crowd saw Issei and Kai enter the current state and Abaddon armor, they knew this would be a show. Ah! The two dragons yell, rushing at each other with a flaming head, but from the two, causing flames to burst from the arena. They kept it up with a fury of punches at each other. Issei landed more powerful boosted punches, however Kai was in slimmer armor, so he was faster, and used his magic to make each hit on Issei feel twice as strong. Not bad, Kai, seems you've gotten stronger. Issei says, still blocking and punching Kai. Same with you, sensei, but this punches aren't going to take me down. Kai says, building up a blade of pod and fire from his own aura. Oh really? Then eat this. Issei yells as he tries to Kai, but before Kai could block it with his sword, he was blasted away, hearing one thing. Dragon shot. Issei yelled as there was a distraction to make an opening. You need to think more about your openings. Issei says as Kai get back up and has his armor broken. Oh really? Fine, I would say the same for you though. Kai says, confusing Issei as Kai sticks his hand out, shadow dagger flaming light. Kai yells as Issei's arms were wrapping in chains of fire and shadow like when he first fought Kai, and behind his is the same, however. Ah! Issei gets stabbed by two lie spears in his shoulder, keeping the locks in place. Not bad, Kai. Issei says, trying to break out as Kai walks towards him. I know you didn't notice the traps. Kai says, punching Issei in the chest repeatedly, shocking the crowd. By the zero punch, Issei had cracks in his armor, and as Kai went to punch again, he grabbed Kai's arm. What the? Kai states, confused. Now Dragon Shatter Balanka Breaker version, he says, boosting 0x and snapping his other hand as red and emerald sparks surge, shocking the two and breaking Issei from the shadow and dreeing Kai of his armor's energy, with him now on his feet, head down, and with burns on his arms, and Issei in base walking to him without the chains but with some burns. Well done, Kai, you tries your best. Now I'm sorry but you lose. Issei says, building up a dragon shot in his hand, making Kai laugh. Ha ha ha, you really think I'm done? Well, I'm about to prove you wrong, Issei and Drake, you two red. Kai says as blue-red powers glow with black and silver sparks, making Issei jump back as Kai says one thing everyone can hear and making the higher-ups shit themselves. Balance break. After Kai said those words, a large amount of power was let out as his right arm became a gauntlet. I Crimson Abaddon, the Dragon King who brings chaos, who kills without mercy and delivers a mighty blow to no end. The devil who is forgotten as my name back from the shadows causes all to feel fear as I surpass the original God and Satan with destructive potential. I am the Dragon King of eternal chaos. Devil title, the first king of the House of Dragons and the first dragon who rose from nothing to become a king. I surpass the means of limit as the infant is by my side. Balance breaker, twin chaos, Dragon King of eternity and destruction. AI now is in two merged armor sets, one similar to his first, which is silver and black for the magic and scale tights like metal and gold fire like symbols, while it is merged with a second layer. It is a blue version of Issei's scale mail with some red in it from the other armor, along with silver lines throughout the armor as the gems are violet and gold, and it had black claws and violet hands and eyes with two sets of wings and the Nico marks on two of the gems for his right and left arms and the Abaddon mark on his chest. The crowd was in shock. The power from the gear and breaker was equal to Great Red and maybe even two. However, besides the power, they wanted to know what gear that was, making all but Ajuka be in shock. WH. What the hell, Kai? Issei said, shocked not knowing Kai had this power. Issei, all dragons have a balance breaker, even me. Great Red said, shocking Issei that even the Apocalypse Dragon God has a balance breaker. It's true, partner, but be in guard. Drake spoke as Issei looked towards Kai. Seems like I surpassed even the Red Dragon, who seems to only use his gear's balance breaker. Kai mocks as he sticks his hand out and motioning for Issei to come at him. That's it, promotion Welsh Dusk King. That's it, promotion Welsh Dusk King. Alright, eat this, Kai. Issei yells, rushing at Kai with blinding speed at power, with his right fist covered in pod and dragon flames boosting all the way to 0x. But as Kai takes the hit, nothing happens besides a shockwave from Issei's fist as we see Kai took the punch but no damage? Come on, Issei, bring on, Kai says as he punches Issei, making him fly back with his helmet broken. Why you ugh? Issei then spits some blood out from the punch he took. Drake, can I win? Issei asks his dragon and brother. I do not know at king form, and if you boost over 0-0 then maybe. Drake says, shocking Issei. Well, at least I'm still holding something back that you don't know of. Issei says, shocking both dragons. What do you mean something we don't know? I am the dragon of dreams, I know all. Great Red says in a fit. Well, wait, Red. Now eat this, Kai. Inferno Drago's shot. Issei says as he fire a large blast of energy AMD fire. However, Kai puts his right arm up and his left back with pod power as his right arm summons a bow-like gauntlet. Eat this then, Issei. As ice merges with Kai's arm and the ground with destructive lightning. The power of me and my mates now absolute 0. He yells, firing an arrow out of the bow as it freezes Issei's blast, and the arrow hits him, breaking his armor. How does he have my level of ice magic? Graphia states, confused as Sona walks to her and Rias. It might be because he is ultimate class at least, and he is my mate and the owner of the Norse pups. Sona says, shocking Rias and confusing Graphia as Sona shows her mark on her neck. Not done yet. Issei says as his king armor is almost broken, as well see his arm and chest bleeding. Well, master, if you say you can still fight, then take this. Kai says, building up two different flame-type beings of energy and a ring. Truism Sage Flame. Kai yells, blasting a mix of dragon and sage power at Issei. He boosted all the way to 0 and more as he tried to push the blast back. Boost, 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 boost. No, this isn't enough, I have to push more. Issei said as he had his right arm turn blue, ringing out. Divide, 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 divide. Divide. Rang out as he strunk the ring and merged the boost and divide as his hands glowed red and black with pod as he crushed the blast, making a massive explosion. Kai looks down as he deckends and tucks in his wings as we see Issei in no armor and shirt half torn as he was breathing heavily to the shock of Kai. Well, Red Dragon, seems like you're stronger than I thought, but you can't win. Kai says as he looks towards Issei, who is laughing. You think I'm done? Well. Ha ha ha. His eyes then glow red and silver with emerald as his pupils. I'm not done yet. Issei says as the crowd and Kai were blinking and rubbing their eyes as they were shocked at Issei's willpower and Kai along with Team Rias and Surzex and Grafia teared up seeing him. Well, I guess yo. Ugh. As Kai was about to speak, he looked back to where Issei, and he wasn't there, as he suddenly felt pain in his gut as Issei was in front of him punching him back. You need to know, Kai, I am wiser than you in battle and mind, plus you are this strong due to mixed blood and potential of dragon and devil, but Issei glows red, silver, and emerald. I got this strong from the ground up. Issei yells as both gears appeared and shook. Twin Dragon Heavenly God release. Issei roars as his power grew rapidly, and the gears were gone and Red and Drake were next to the three teams and Ophis and Tiamat. Issei roars as his power grew rapidly, and the gears were gone and Red and Drake were next to the three teams and Ophis and Tiamat. Human Great Red, Drake. Both dragons were confused what Issei was planning, as he now only had a copy of the boosted gear with a limit of 0. Issei, what are you doing, brother? Drake yelled as Ophis walked up to him with Vala and Team Rias. Wait, Drake, you and Asterisk glares at Red. Asterisk, Bakai, Red don't know what he is doing? Ophis spoke confused as all looked at Drake. No, I don't know, all I see is his power is. Then it hits Drake as he laughs. Ha 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 ha, you did, Issei, damn you. Alright, partner, show them the power of the cursed dragon god Emperor of Resolve. Drake yelled as Issei's three auras of emerald, black, and red calmed, and it showed a large silver aura and red and emerald flames and sparks around him as he spoke. My heart rises from the dark, as past and future broken anew burns. As my tears shed the pain away within my rage, the flames of domination wilt them away. My flames rise and burn away sorrow. As my power grows, apocalypse is in reach as my flames burn it away. The broken and indestructible power of the evil flames that is a dragon's curse. My flames go beyond the infinite as my flames go beyond the apocalyptic name of the dragon gods. I rose from nothing as the dragon emperor who now became the strongest warrior of domination in my right. The flame in my soul overcomes the three most powerful dragon names as I become a new dragon with my soul's flaming resolve. Ultimate dragon, soul dragon beyond the heavenly/evil/dragon gods. Forbidden Juggernaut Breaker, Flame Welsh Resolve. A large amount of energy exploded around Issei as a version of his scale male appeared and upgraded. He now has a red and silver armor as large as She King form, but the shoulders are larger and are silver and red in the shape of two dragon heads with emerald and black flames glowing. And his arms are slim and shoulders bulky like his queen form, and his legs normal, but the color is black and silver with the gems glowing emerald, and his hands are silver, black, and red with gold eyes and ascalon, and his sword Dragon Fury in both hands, and then returned to the gear arms. All the leader were I'm shocked by aura and pressure Issei was giving off, as it surpassed any dragon rank and devil rank to become his own new rank. But all the others could barely stand because of his power, but Shalot used a barrier to keep Team Rias, Kai, Issei up. Is that Issei? Rainier and Rias asked, shocked by the power. Yes, it is, but be on guard, him and Kai are still holding back. They bother are only at 0% due to the news forms if I'm correct. After all, sensing power and sense of smell doesn't fail. Shalot says, scaring everyone as the leader rushed to make a barrier so everyone can watch and stay safe. So Issei, looks like you're not holding back, haha, I never thought you would handicap me by getting rid of your dragons. Kai says as Issei gets rid of the air pressure. Just the opposite, Kai, if I went all out with both of them they would die because of the seals and gears breaking, but this is just like yours, the power of a dragon's own balance breaker, but I am beyond all others. Issei says as he lets out his power, and Kai does the same. Suddenly the two rush at each other evenly matched, punching Othi without holding anything back as Issei rushing with multiple punches and going after Kai with a right hook. As Kai dodges using his own wings, Issei s him into the sky, blasting a multitude of dragon shots mixed with flames. Oh no, you don't. Kai says as he summons the bow on his hand, beating the blast away, but as they are pushed away, Issei rushes behind Kai, putting him in a headlock, making Kai gasp for air. Give up, Kai? Issei taunts as Kai then uses his tail to throw Issei back as he gets hair. Huff. Damn to close, you know what, eat this, Issei. Kai yells as he rushes towards Issei, punching him into gut, cracking his armor, as Issei grabs Kai's arm, locking him in place, as Issei punches Kai in the stomach, cracking his armor as well. Why, you dragon shot? Issei says, building it up right next to Kai. Oh, wanna play that way, Dragon Inferno? Kai charges as fires right next to and into Issei's dragon shot as a red explosion goes off as the world shakes. POV a white light. Huh, what hell? Issei says, getting up from the void, seeing Kai asleep, and he runs to him. Kai, wake up. Issei says, shacking him awake. Sensei, what happened? I thought we were fighting. Kai asked as the gears appears on Issei, and Kai's oars of Samuel, and his father shine. You both were, but then suddenly as your attacks hit all of us ended you here. Drake says as Kai thinks in his head. Dad, is this true? Kai asks. Yes, sound, but Ophis isn't in the link when we are here, but am confused why. Lord Abaddon spoke as we see Issei having the same talk with Red and Drake about the past host being blocked. Suddenly a golden, red, silver aura shines, confusing the two as they see someone. You think you're strong, Triaxawell. You're nothing to me. A man with red and black hair speaks as Kai and Issei see a vision of the man and the beast fighting V. Boost. If you want me to kill you, then make me try. After all, you're facing the power of calamity. The man speaks as we see him with a black jacket and violet shirt with many different auras, one which is Drake's. Who the hell is this guy Drake? Issei asked, however the dragon was silent. Yes, Samuel, I want to know too. Kai asked as the two legendary beings spoke the same thing. We don't know. Shocking the two as they watched. A dragon buster. He yells as a green and gold blast fires from his hand as we see two gauntlets and two different eyes. Both blue, but then one turns red and one violet. Whoever he is Hellbreaker strong. Kai says as Issei walks in front of Kai. No, he is able to destroy the universe if he wants, not just hell. Issei says as the man's aura grows with a red and gold light. That's it, no more games, this the true power of the Dragon King, Emperor of Calamity. After all, they don't call me Kaiser for nothing. Balance break. He yells as both Issei and Kai see a version of his armor. They see this but with some emerald and blue in the arms and legs. Suddenly the light changes to one of sorrow and darkness. When Kai and Issei turn, they see Rias and the others crying. Damn it, why? You should have listened, now one of you had to die, it should have been us. She cries as Issei walks up to hear, only to see that same man stopping him. Don't move and fight in your game. After all, you won't know me for a while, but you almost created me just now, Red Dragon and Twin King. The man named Kaiser says as he sends the two back to the ring. Back in the real world, we see Kai and Issei both with no armor and barely breathing. Damn, I don't know who he is, but I want lose. Issei and Kai both think as they get up. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems these two are still able to fight. Issei then rushes at Kai, does the same with both fists colliding. Issei Kai back boosting, and Kai summons all his power in his gauntlet as he Issei back and slams his fist on the ground. Am not done yet. Kai yells as he builds up a fist of fire and pod. Same here, Kai, let's end this with one strike. Issei yells, boosting to 0. All. The two yell, rushing at each other and punching each other both in the face, and Kai fires of ice, but before he can, Issei uses his other fist to punch Kai to the ground. Burst. As Kai was stumbling, so did Isu as he reached his limiter. The two fell back, but Kai stopped himself only for us to see an ice spell on his feet so he can stay standing. However, Issei summons Ascalon, destroying the ice, making Kai fall back, but Issei fell unconscious, and not long after Kai did as well. It seems we have a winner, folks. By 1 second standing longer than the other. Kai Crimson Abaddon is the winner. Azazel yells as the crowd cheers, not just for Kai but for Issei, as the match was closer than any match. A few days later. What the hell? Kai says, now in the underworld hospital. You're awake. Issei says in the bed next to Kai. You're strong, Kai, I'm so proud, it was close. Issei says, making Kai smile, but then he looks defeated, shedding a tear. You know that fight was awesome, but I must thank you for everything, helping me get stronger, finding my home and my mother and my love. I have to thank you, Essie. No, Master Hayate, the strongest warrior I know. Kai said, shocking Issei as he puts a hand on Kai's shoulder, trying to get up. Thank you, Kai, but you earned your power as well, just like me, because we have goals and people we care about. Issei says, making Kai smile as master and student laugh, thinking of the past as they hear a knock on the door. Hello, is it okay if I come in? Surzek says from the door with Rias, Rainier, and Kaneko and Timat. Hello, my king, of course you can come in. Issei says as Surzek tries to get in, but the girls rush in, hugging their mate/child. Issei, don't scare us like that. Rias says, hugging his arm. Yeah, if you do that again, I will kill you. Rainier says, hugging his other arm. Sorry, you two, I didn't mean to worry you, Red Yuma-chan. Issei tells the two, saying their nicknames as he hugged them. Kai, don't do that, dummy. Kaneko said, crying to Kai's chest. Yeah, if you do, I will be alone, and you already lost your father, you fool. Timat says, hitting her son on the head. Sorry, Mom. Kid and I promise it will never happen again. Kai says, hugging them. Oh, that reminds me, Kai, Issei. Surzek says, catching the two's attention. First, Sun Okon wants to see you when you get discharged, and second, how would you two feel about being leaders? Surzex asked, shocking all but Issei. That won't be needed in Isen because I already am. Catch, Issei says, throwing a red badge from she pocket to the Devil King. That is my badge I made for my clan the Dragons. After all, an emperor with no limits needs to protect his faction, Issei says, making Surzex smile. However, from the window we see the same girl who watched Kai before. I guess I will have to wait to kill you two, but until then I guess the white one will be my first prey, she says as she flies away. It has been days since the King's Games. Kai and ISSSI are about to be ready to leave the hospital. However, both Issei and Kai used so much energy their arms are stuck as gears. Mr. Haidu, Mr. Abaddon, you both are discharged. You are free to go, a nurse says as she looks in shock seeing Issei and Kai do push-ups in aura. Kai, focus you dragon power to act like a weight, Issei says, getting off the ground to see if Kai can control his aura. IMS. So stop talking so I can FO. Before Kai could finish, he falls due to the lack of control. So you two do know if you keep this up we will keep a day longer, the nurse to the dragon says. Sorry about that, we are just excited and ready to leave, right, Issei? Kai asked with joy in his voice. Of course, plus we got to ask our mates to fix our arms before we leave to Kyoto, Issei said as the two grabbed their bags and left. So Kai guessed, Ion, did you think of any new moves for battle? Issei asked. Has Kai's arm acted up? No, not yet. Why? Kai said, making Issei facepalm as they reached the Haida house. It's because you need your own power, not the same tricks or moved of you and your mates you used in the Gaal. As Issei opened the door while talking, he was tackled by Rias, Rainer, Aquino, Asia, and Irina and Ravel. Everyone else is at the hospital thinking they didn't leave yet. Issei, why didn't you tell us you were coming home? Rias said. She's right, you and Kai are still injured, Rainer said. Era, if you want yourself hurt just call me because this was just stupid, Aquino said in her normal seductive way. Agreed, Issei / my king, Ravel and Irina said as Asia just hugged Issei tight. Sensei, seems like you're the one who needs help with your mates, ha ha ha, Kai said, laughing awkwardly seeing the Red Dragon Emperor, the first dragon who became an ultimate dragon, be knocked down by his mates. Girls, I'm fine, please get off me, Issei says, then looking down at Asia. Asia, I'm fine, please let go, he says as the girls let go, and Issei gets up, turning to Kai, getting his phone out. Issei, who are you calling? Kai asked in fear as a magic circle appeared with his crest as it showed Kaneko and Kuroka, and they looked pissed. Thanks for calling numbnuts. Now, Kai, Kaneko said, looking at Kai, making him feel fear. Get him, Kuroka said as the two sisters tackled him just like the other girls did to Issei. I think these two need punished. I have an idea for that. Girls, come here, Aquino says, calling Rias, Rainer, Kaneko, and Kuroka over. What do you think they're talking about? Issei asked Kai. I have no clue, but I have shivers down my spine now, Kai says as the Chui go pale. Well, we let you two go have fun, let's go, Ravel, Irina says as the two leave, and let what happens happen. Okay, as the girls get dressed, let me take you boys to the punishment room, Aquino says in a tease as Kai and Issei look back in worry. Do we have to? The two said as Aquino s her lips, taking the two to the room. Lemon time of punishment. Here we see Kai and Issei teleported into a spa room naked, and Issei on one red is tied up with his hands tied up while Kai is tied up as well. So why are here and why are we tied up? Kai asks, but before Issei could say anything, thunder bursts as someone comes from it. You're here to be healed and punished, bad boys, Aquino says in a seductive tone, ing her lips as she makes sure their hands are locked, and then she locks Kai's mouth. Okay, what's this for? Issei asks, trying to motion to him, and Kai being locked, but then a red flash of light arrives, shocking the two dragons and giving them a true dragon boner. For Issei's side of the room, for Kai's side of the room, lemon removed. You're not our mates, so we won't fully punish you, Kai says. But we will still get you wings white again, Issei says as the two jerk off, exploding on the fallen. After that she passes out, and the two look at each other and realize. We need a shower, they say aloud as Issei goes leading him to the bath before they grab the stuff they backed. Hours later, after resting, eating, and bath, the two are outside with bags. Each one has clothing and other as all the training items they think they will need, and Kai has a lot because he knows his sensei. So Issei, where are we going? Kai asked as he smirks. We are going to Kyoto, he says bluntly, shocking the boy. Kyoto? It would take us forever to fly there, and with a circle you need to ask first, you idiot, Kai yells, making Issei cover his ears before eating him on the head. We aren't going there either way, we will use my rift spell, remember? I finally have a name for it, so come on. Issei says, sticking his fist out for a fist bump for the training to start as master and student. Issei says, sticking his fist out for a fist bump for the training to start as master and student. POV change to Kyoto. It is in the afternoon there now, and Lady Yakeisen and Sun Okong are talking about the most recent event of the hero faction and what will happen next. But just as they were about to continue, they see a red and sliver flash through the dimension, showing Issei and Kai now in front of them. Hello, Lady Yakeisen, Sun Okong, it has been some time. Issei says while bowing along with Kai doing the same. Red Dragon Emperor, it is a pleasure to meet you. Okong says, glad to see him formally for once. Yes, Issei, how have you been? Yakeisen says, happy to see the two, but then she saw bags next to them. What are those? She asked, motioning to the bags. Oh, these, well, if it is alright with you, Lady Yakeisen, me and Issei would like to train here for a few days since we don't got school. Kai says as Issei hits him. You need to know that there is something else you should ask. Issei said, annoyed at his student's stupidity. He is acting like him. Oh yes, sorry. How is Kuno doing since last time we saw her? Kai asks, a little red. Good, actually, she is just tired right now, so she is asleep. Yakeisen said, laughing on how her little fox has so much energy but also burns through it all, so cute. Okay, well that's good, so Issei ready to lose. Kai says as Issei then lets out a deadly aura, shocking the three and slightly scaring but also turning in Yakeisen. Outside now, Rund, it's time I show you that you can't believe an opponent or your own ego. Issei says, dropping his bags and walking into the training grounds, taking off his jacket and summoning Drake only and closing his eyes. Okay, Issei, time for you to lose. Shadow Chain Dagger. Kai says from the house for a sneak attack as Issei dodges it, throws him into the training area. Now begin already, boy. Issei says as Kai rushes at him with Issei whispering. Wild Spread. As he then reads all Kai's movements blindfolded, and Kai can't even hit him. Kai even tried flying to see if it was his noise that was causing him to heat tracked, but no, because Issei jumped and boosted to 0, firing a dragon shot, leaving Kai unable to move after being hit by the blast. H.ML. Kai asked from the ground as Issei took off the blindfold. Well, first I made a magic and male variation of booby lingo called Wild Spread. Like a boar or fire, all attack have emotions or power that is wild and is their core, and I can track it. 2. These are all my moves, and when I fought you I went to 0, not 0 as well. Want to know why? Issei asked. Kofus and Cow, because he said they would die in the gear. It's because of what I told you, but only if I boosted to 0 in that form. It was mostly to show you me alone had skills and limits without using my allies' powers alone. You need to make a power of your own, Kai, not using the mate's might alone or having Samuel, or if it control your power it has to be only you. Issei said coldly, letting him lay on the ground, tossing him a phoenix tear as Kai then punched the ground as Issei left, knowing he only won the game because ISSSI. No, his sensei held back and he was testing him to see if he could make his own power and moves that would stay with him even if he would end up like he did before, alone, weak and on the streets. He failed the test. I understand now, sensei. I have to make a power purely my own. Kai said, taking the tear and then letting out his aura, trying to condense it into his body as step 1. Red Dragon, where is the dragon boy? Okong asked. My student is making a power his own after I gave him a strict talk, but really when I talk like that I talk to show him he can do anything because he is the song of a devil king, a Lucifer candidate, and a dragon king who hunted most of my past Red Dragon senpai. He has the power to do any, but first he must control his power and must not get overconfident, or he will lose everything. Issei says, thinking back to Asia and him awakening the Juggernaut drive and almost dying, and he doesn't want Kai to accidentally make his own Juggernaut drive because of him doing the same mistakes he did. Hours pass and Kai stays outside as everyone took a nap, but it is now midnight, and the full moon's light shines on Kai as he condensed and has full control now over Holy Devil and Dragon Aura and some of his potion power, but he falls on his knees due to the focus he needed to do so, training him. No. I must get back up. I am an Abaddon, I am a dragon, I will be my own warrior. Kai says, struggling but somehow getting back up and putting his power in his right arm and sticking it out, and putting his left hand on his wrist to help form the attack in his right arm as he closes his eyes as all his auras are released, forming him in Terzing. Sun Okong said as he watched Kai train and focus from right next to the training field balcony walkway. Indeed, Sun Okong. Issei and Yakeisen said as they out from the balance to see Kai train as they just woke up from their nap. No, but close. Yakesan slept next to Issei. And yes, Kai slept before they left, not Issei. Sorry, I wrote a large enough lemon already. As the through watch Kai, they see him focusing his energy as he is in control, and his angel marks appear on his arm, and red and silver sparks form around him from his energy, as he closes his eyes with a gold and violet aura-like color passing over his body, and then in his hands as he opens his eyes to shows his eyes gold with his pupils one red and one blue, showing he is trying as hard as he can to control and merge all properties of his power. I can do this, Kan says as his aura goes silver and violet, and gains gold sparks along with the red ones. As he closes his eyes, letting out the power, shocking Yakesan as she didn't know the power in the boy, but Okong was not shocked. However, Issei was shocked, but he was amazed as he took out his phone, seeing Kai still standing strong. I did it! Kai yells as he opens his eyes, seeing a silver and black sphere in his hand with a violet and gold center with red and blue sparks. As he feels the power from it, he turns around, hearing footsteps and clapping. Great job, Kai, you did well. So phone flash *, what do you say about a test run for the Issei was saying as Kai cut him off. Supreme destruction. I think it suits it, and it matches me by the looks too. Kai says. Yes, I agree, so what do you say? Issei asks. I would be honored, sensei. Kai says as they both look at each other with fire in their eyes, with the moon's light and supreme destruction's glow shining bright. We see the two dragons, master and student, stare each other down, ready to fight as the moon shines bright. Plus, alright Kai, let's do this, Issei says as he walks up to Kai, entering a battle stance. Alright sensei, I will show you all I got. Kai says, merging the supreme destruction back into him as he enters a stance as well. Hold it, you two, it's night. Do you want to wake everyone up? Wait till tomorrow. Yakesan spoke, making it know her people still needed their sleep before a dragon's sparing match wakes them. You're right, Yakesan, our apologies, let's go, Kai. Issei said as he and Kai walked towards the temple and rest for the night. The next day in KUH, while Issei and Kai left to train in Kyoto, Vala was looking for them as he needed to talk to his fellow dragons. Sigh. I guess they are still asleep. Vala said, annoyed. I'm not sure, Vala, it seems they might not be here. Albion spoke, confusing the white dragon. What do you mean then, no? Before Vala could finish talking to Albion, he was suddenly attacked by a hooded figure in black with an orange ribbon in their hair. Seems like I found you, white Drago Lucifer. The figure spoke with malice as an orange and black aura was around them, made of magic and pure malice, as the two backed up. What the hell? Who are you and how do you know me? Vala questioned as the figure smiled. Please, no dragon or devil can escape my judgment. They spoke, shocking Vala as he thought back to someone he met before he left for the Chaos Brigade. Tell me, why are you still with my grandfather? He needs to die. Vala says in anger as he is about to leave. It's simple, Vala. His time is soon, but all dragons like you and devils that are untrue by my views will die, because no dragon or devil can escape my judgment. No, it can't be? Vala said after thinking back to his past. This aura and will belongs to only one person he knows. If you want to fight, bring it, but you will tell me who you are. Vala says as he puts up a barrier, letting out his power. Fine by me, mistake. The person says as they rush at each other, clashing fist for fist with incredible speed and power. The movements and impacts were only blue and a bronze like fire with a black spark from it. So this is your power, it's strong, I will give you that. The fighter says as they go into Vala, but he dodges and summons his gear and grabs her legs and spins her around, crashing her into the barrier, cracking it as he then looks at where he threw the person. Ha, helicopter, helicopter. Albion says, laughing. So you have been spending time with Drake and Issei again, and their own white dragon. Vala says, making us unsure of who this white dragon is. As Vala is done talking, a bright silver and bronze to orange light as the hooded figure stands tall out of the smoke without her bow, but instead a gold spear with orange and black marks. However, the cloak is damaged and now showing the figure's shirt and body and glow from one of their eyes, as it shows a violet eye and a woman figure with a large chest and a black shirt for stealth. So you are a girl, and that spear says it all. You haven't changed a bit, but I had a hunch it was Luna Amon, the devil of the house ceiling, and Judgment, aka the lost devil of secrets. Vala says, announcing who the person now known as Luna is, the person who has been watching Issei, Kai and Vala since Kyoto. Well, Valchan, seems like you're still as foolish as ever. Luna says as she then rushes Vala, hitting his wrist that held magic, breaking the barrier. Crash. Shatter. As the barrier broke, it woke a few people in the house. POV Issei's room. After that night when Kai and Issei went wild with the 5 girls, they were out cold and Rias was the first awake. Yawn, I guess he left already. Well, better get breakfast and everyone ready to surprise the two. Ria said as she got up and poked at the two fallens. Akino, Rainer, wake up. Ria said as the two were then wrapping themselves in their wings, devil/angel and angel/dragon, saying, 5 more minutes please. Which annoyed Rias as she slapped the two awake, making them annoyed. Okay girls, time for us to crash. As Rias was talking, Vala's barrier broke, waking everyone up and having them rush outside. The first there were the twin pups and the Haida parents with Kiba. Vala, what happened? Knight of Gremory asked as Vala raised his right hand and placed wish fingers in his mouth with a balance breaker arm as he then whistled with his magic, and that confused the people present as then everyone else came running down and with a whirlwind through the window as she jumped by Vala as a magic circle called Fenrir by his side. Dad? Fen said as Fenris walked stood tall. Look, a dog and a cat, no wonder you're here, you fool. Luna spoke as Kuroka and Vala were confused and everyone else were shocked. Kaneko was by Vala. What are you doing? This, your fight? No, it's mine since I heard the call. Kaneko says as she thinks back. Flashback to after the Loki fight. We see Kai, Issei and Vala teamed up with their gears or magic focused in their arms. What are you doing, Vala? Issei asked, not sure what's he doing. I'm letting out my energy into my arms so I can call Fenrir with no problem. Why Hayaду? Vala asked Snippy. Well, me and Drake let out power signals people and Red lets it be heard or hidden by everyone we wish, even Orphis. Maybe you and Albion should try that. Issei said, making Drake happy. You might be right, Issei, hold up. Kai said as he focused his gloves into a spiked fire, touching the gauntlet until shatter. Ow ow ow, what the hell? Issei and Drake said as Kai took out a piece of the gear just like Issei did to Vala. Vala, listen, you can't use this, keep sighing, your dimension unleash needed, and when you break your limits you will gain some power of domination. Said, giving Vala the gem as he also blessed his arm with an Abaddon SOS. Flashback over. As Vala thought back about this, he closed his eyes and focused back to Luna was a cold but happy devil who was a half-breed like him. She wouldn't do this. Now. At that moment Fenris rushed to help Kaneko by focusing his power, aiming it towards Luna. Eat this, you bitch. He yelled as he formed his power into a claw of aura. However, Luna used her spear to block it, throwing Fenris back as he rushed at him. Die, beast of the flaming wrath. She yelled as she used her energy and spear to form a dragon of pure fire, of black sparks rushing at Fenris, but Kuroka and Fenrir knocked it back. TCH. Pest, a lot of you. She says as Kaneko and Fenrir glared down at her as then the three rushed at each other, clashing blows, fist to spear AMB2. But every move became countered by Luna and her skill. At one point Kaneko blasted her with sage fire, but she put her hand out and took the flame and shocking the two as everyone was gone besides Kuroka, who didn't want to leave. Your power is strong, but I can control that, you fool, because my mother was a sage who loved a devil but who control and tame devil dragon and other high-ranking power like yours at the cost of making her a spirit after my birth. Luna said as she took off her cloak, showing black hair, violet eyes and marks on her shoulders. One a multicolored symbol for soul and beast, one the left arm the same side of her with bow in her hair when she wears it. And the next is on her palm of the right calmed pawn as it was black and made her eyes void of anything as Vala opened his eyes seeing those crest, and the pawn is from one man. POV change in hell. Yes, that's it, kill him, you foolish girl, those dragons will die. Vala, you should have listened, grandson, but now it's too late. You could have sided with me, but now your first friend will kill you and die herself, all because of me. A man in the shadows says as the light of a fire glows, showing rise of him Levon Lucifer. But by him he looks over to see a coffin covered with blood and dirt as he smiles. And besides, if that fails, I have you once I get your damned soul or magic as fuel, you fake who shouldn't have been voted for my blood right. Kai Abaddon the Endi made of Tiamat, he says, now showing the Abaddon crest on the coffin as Tiamat made him a custom grave from dragon rock which formed a coffin. POV Kyoto. As everyone got there besides Vala and the cats along with Fenrir and Fenris, we saw more circles showing Surzex and the Gremory family, and the seconds was Serafal and Sona team. The RD was Riser and Azazel with Michael and Ajuka along with Odin behind them, and last was a dragon circle as all dragon kings and gods showed up as Issei has news to tell all of them. However, as they all showed up and Rizavim was talking to himself, we see Kai's ring glow and pendant shine as he meditates in the woods. Hello Surzex and Lady Serafal, what is the pleasure along with you Lord Odin and Azazel, Michael? Yakesan asked as she and Okong and Kuno walked out from their shrine rooms. We came to watch the fight at full power, master and student. That reminds me, where is Issei? Sirzex asked, making his parents jolt. Yes, Lady Yakasen, please tell us where he is. The two asked as they bowed. I assure you Dragon Boy is alright, he just like Kai is training before. Before I his ass right Okong? Kai says, coming out from the forest but shirtless and making Ase blush and Kuno cover her eyes. Asia does like Issei, but he views her as a sister, not a mate. Sorry to say guys, but Kai well enjoy that ship. Young man, why are you shirtless and why? Timat said, angry at her son acting like a warmonger dragon, but to be fair, he is a teenager, she thinks to herself. I needed to meditate before the fight and focus, so I did it under a waterfall in the woods. Kai says, snapping his fingers as he gets a blue shirt with black marks and black jeans and his gloves and bronze boots. Haha, seems like you are eager, cousin. A strong voice says, shocking Rias and Kai as they turn to see Serorg and Issei and their teams. Cousin, what are you doing here? Rias asked, thinking he still needed to rest after the battle of Issei ing his ass. Well, he wanted to see the fight too, and besides I don't blame him for coming, after all I almost burned him. Issei said, admitting he was training a little bit. So you are scared to fight me? Kai yelled, making Tannen and Azazel and Sirzex laugh. No, not at all, Kai, am just wanting to warm up before I babysit a youngling. Issei says as he glows red, black and white, choking everyone as he summons the boosted gear, soul gear, and on his left shoulder is a white dragon scale shoulder blade having the glow of Albion. What the hell, Issei, you have a white dragon gear? Azazel yelled. As Issei laughed. No, not at all, it's the power I took in from Vala and my own energy fuming into a gear-like form with my own dragon called AI. Issei says as he puts the 3 gears away, as that shows why he was training. So brother, how have you been? Sirzex asks as Milicus pops up. Yeah, Issei, how are you? The hyper boy asked. I am fine brother, I have rested at times, but not much. I have plans for the future after all. Issei says as Michael and Odin are confused by his statement, but not the others. However, Sarah Fall blushes and says, Oh, Issei, is your future a harem? She say, proving she doesn't know anything either. No, not even close. Issei says as he walks towards Rias and Rainier ing the two on the head. However, if I do by accident, well, I call it luck. Issei says, making everyone laugh as they then feel a large aura of supremacy and domination similar to Issei at the peace meeting, but then a solar flare bright light of a magic circle appears with a hurt Fenrir, Fenris Kaneko and a half-dead Kuroka. Making Kai tear and almost snap until he releases something and whispers, Vala, do this for her, and she will be saved, because I guess I should have known with your broken soul back then you couldn't tell her, but you love her too, don't you? And as he whispers those words and lifts up Kuroka to somewhere to heal her, we change locations to see an inferno blue aura with red coloring as Vala is shedding tears with a new aura. I made this myself. The 2 armors in the top corners are the aura if Vala, changing the aura of and onto more rage into a true version. The flames are the aura of supremacy and domination in one, and the armor in the middle is an artificial version of a new form Vala just unlocked, but it looks purple due to the rage and sorrow mixing his powers, thus it's more like a prototype version of, you will pay grandfather, and I will free you Luna, because you will feel rage of warriors drive / supremacy call of domination. Get ready Luna, I will set you free and make my grandfather pay. Vala yells as he awakens a nay unknown power, but what shall the cost to this be, and how did THS happen? You are a beast yet a gentle soul, plus, boost. You are strong yet argent but wise too, with a kind smile. Flames roaring of his soul. 2 voices, but this is my fight to end the war. The noise rang out of an Issei's and Kai head as they looked down to see Kuroka hurt and Fenris and Kaneko with Team Rias and Issei. What happened? Issei says as he walks over to them as he senses Albion and Vala. POV Vala / Fenris and Kaneko at the fight before everyone left to Kyoto besides Vala. We see Fenris standing tall with his sword of thunder and eyes shielding him as he took Luna's blast, but he is breathing heavily. So you still stand, dog, good, maybe I can kill you slowly. Luna says as she lifts her arm and spear, but Fenrir rushes at her, biting her arm to save his son. Dad! What are you doing? Fenris cries out as he sees Fenrir full of energy and bidding the curse mark if pawn away, but the power of the mark sends out a dark shock through Fenrir as he bites. Fenrir, don't. Kaneko yells as she rushes to him, ing Luna down before she could try to fend him off and getting the god-killing dog away and back to Vala. Whimper is all they hear as Fenrir couldn't handle the energy, and he has great burns and is now asleep and hopeful he wakes up. Dad, no. Whimper, Fenrir says as he sheds tears for his father, and now he is full of rage as he found power to get back in the fight. Why, you will pay for Thias? Fenris yells as he lets out a dragon aura mixed with ice and thunder as he enters Prime Wolf. Oh, looks like the pup has some fight in him, Luna says as the orange aura surrounds her, shocking Vala. Fenris, look out, that power is counter aura made of pure and energy, be careful. Vala yelled, not wanting to lose Fenris. He is Kai's comrade and Kai is a brother to him, and issei, tch. Fenris with his hair spiked up roars at full wolf, using the speed and power while still looking human to handle the power and become faster. Fenris with his hair spiked up roars at full wolf, using the speed and power while still looking human to handle the power and become faster. Picture this as Fenris, but his hair fur is black and white as it matches his rage and fur, as it is not mastered yet. And the clothing is not a purple GI but a torn black shirt with a silver chain and black leather pants with a thunder and ice design with a few holes in them. Sorry, I forgot to say that. What, you just go tch, you little ugh. Before Luna could finish, Fenris rushed at her with blinding speed, using his aura and sword to break the aura, landing a clean right hook at her, sending her flying up in the air. Damn, looks like my sword is gone, Fenris says, looking down at his broken sword, and her looks behind him to Kaneko. Hey, come on, Fenris says, reaching a handing out of thunder and blue fire as the queen and pawn will team up. Alright, let's go, Kaneko says, grabbing Fenris' hand as Luna flies towards them. You will pay for this, you foolish brats, she yells as Kaneko wraps her legs in dragon aura, going into her dragon Nico mode. Now! They both yell as Fenris throws Kaneko, giving her a surge of thunder as she launches towards Luna. Die, Judgment Edge, Luna says as her spear glows chronic, rainbow, and silver, with a hint of orange around it. Oh no, you don't, you fool, Kaneko yells, focusing all her power in her legs. Twin tail spiral, Kaneko yells as her flame and kais along with thunder forms a spiral tail, colliding with the spear as a massive shockwave was let out. What the hell? A voice says as Fenris and Vala turn. They see Kuroka still here watching everything. Sister, why are you here? Kaneko asked, hearing her sister's voice but getting caught off guard as Luna builds up a fireball of dark energy. Oh no, you don't, Fenris yells, jumping right below the devil and firing a blast of thunder AMD fire as he uses ice from the wind around him, stopping the blast, but the three were sent flying. Fenris and Kaneko were out of power and Luna was still standing but bleeding as she stood tall. That's it, I don't care, Vala says. He slammed the red and green gem into his right arm as a wit gauntlet from the wings help with the process. This was fun, kids, but as Luna says this, she pulls out a Phoenix tear from her pocket, shocking Kuroka. I don't have time to play, she says, drinking the tear and being back at full power, all but the pawn mark as it starts to break, but not enough to have Luna fight back. Now die, Luna yells as she rushes at Fenris and Kaneko with her spear, but no, as Vala and the two turn to look, they see Kuroka slashed by the spear, half bleeding and unconscious. Sister, Kaneko cried as Vala let out a large aura and looked at Luna. You will pay for this, you pay for hurting her, Vala yells as he thinks back to the three of them spending time together as kids. I who shall rise, I break from the path of salvation, and stand tall in the name of supremacy. I shall stand for those I have lost and break through the limits of domination as the shadow of Lucifer past doesn't restrain me. Now you shall feel a dragon's wrath. Go now or I might kills you, Vala says, opening a portal, picking up Kuroka and giving her to Kaneko and Farah to Fenris. As the two leave, we are back to current time. POV back to current. So that's what happened, I'm sorry to hear that, Issei says as he clams Fenris, but the pup still doesn't trust him as he got his scar from him, and Askelin. Asia, heal Kaneko, and Mom, you and me will try to heal Kuroka, Kai says, holding Kuroka, but he gets dizzy as Issei then rushes to catch him and tam it to Kuroka. What's wrong, Kai? Ajuka and Surzex spoke, rushing to the boy as Azazel held their shoulders as HR knew what it was. Tamit, Revel, hurry and heal Kuroka now or Kai will die, Issei says with dominance, shocking all but Azazel. I will die, Kai asks, still dizzy. Yes, you will, because if Kuroka dies you will feel the effects of the fall as she is one of your three mates, Issei says, shocking Kai, Kaneko and Sona, who only thought it was caused by betrayal. Sona and Kaneko make sure Kai will be alright and Kuroka is number one god, Issei says as his team and Team Citria help Kai while Team Rias and Issei help Kuroka. Wait, everyone! Shalat yells, shocking everyone as they look at him. What, Shalat? Not trying to be rude, we are busy, what can you do to help? Issei said cold as he is not wanting Kai to die. Actually, I can fix this, Shalat says, reaching into his pocket, pulling out a senza bean, shocking everyone as they saw what those can do. Hurry and give it to Kuroka. Issei said as Charlotte nods, but before he could rush over to her they feel a large power awakening. Partner, do you sense that? Drake asked Issei mentally. Yes, I do. Vala is dying either from the new drive or from seeing Kuroka and his first friend be harmed and controlled. He might have got the fall as well. Issei thinks as we go back to Vala, who stares down Luna and rushes at her with his more morphing colors with she rage. Falling in power, he merged with him. Drake, what do I do? Issei thought. I think you have to focus. After all, you were the first Dragaean to beat the fall. Great Red chimed in. As Issei closed his eyes to focus. As he focused, he sensed both Kai and Issei having a scar form on their bodies, as Issei knew Sai was the omen to the fall of the dragons and he had but beat. Die bastard, Vala yells as Issei focuses senses his movements. While he does that, Vala strikes with a flurry of punches and magic which Luna could only counter by keeping up with the fists, but the magic she needed to put most of her magic into swatting them away. Now die Twim Hellbomber. Vala yells, firing 2 spheres, one red and one blue, but they both have some black in them, growing bigger as he threw them at Luna. Oh no, you don't. Ah. Luan yells as she uses her spear to crash into the spheres of energy, and entering a struggle with the power of her in them. I'm not done yet. Vala says as his armor turns purple with a red and white glow, sticking his hand out. Divide, 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 divide. Rang out as Vala shrunk the power of Luna and the energy blast as an electric shock formed around them. What the? Ag. Luna said as her right arm became limp as the pawn mark was being divided. No. I will not be a slave, I will fight to save Vala. Luna says as she fight against the mark, and Vala sees this as he rushes at her with blinding speed, setting of the energy blast, causing the two to take a lot of damage and pain. And as the explosion and dust settles, we see Vala holding Luna and her spear now a bow around her arm again. As Vala looks at her unconscious and the pawn mark is almost gone. But then Vala turns off his gear because he used up a lot of power, and about /8 of his life force. And as we see him now, Vala is bloody and bruised and his jacket is destroyed and she shirt is torn. Vala, are you okay? Albion asks through the link as the marks are gone. Yeah, I am. I just need rest and to do something I should have done a long time ago. So you mind helping me before you go to sleep, my friend? Valley asked as Albion was happy his partner changed for the better to change his sad life to something grand. As Vala looks at Luna and the pawn mark is gone, he looks at her palm and lifts it to his mouth, and he yes it the same way he did when he left, and he then bites it, marking her as the mate of the white dragon, curing Vala of his dragon end of hate and loneliness. Now Albion, can you send me to Issei's location, because even if I live I need to sleep? Vala says as goes to sleep as him and Luna fall. Of course, pardon. No, Vala. Albion says as he teleports the two to Issei's location. POV Issei. We see Issei with Charlotte waiting in the training field as everyone looks at them while they heal Kuroka. What are you doing? Kai asked, walking towards them. We are waiting for Vala to give him the senzu, or at least half of it. What about you? Issei said. Well, I'm better since Kuroka is alright. I was going to ask after Vala arrives, can we fight? Kai asked as Issei looks at the sky. Kai, I don't think. Kiba was about to say until. Of course, but first catch. Issei said, shocking everyone as Issei and shouldn't fight, but they saw Issei throws him a phoenix tear. What are you all really that shocked? Seriously, dragons fight for pride, so no backing down on our word. Issei said as his arm glows, summoning a magic circle for Drake. What is it, brother? Drake asked. Simple, Charlotte, give Drake the bean and give that to Vala after he gets here and merge back with me for the fight. Issei says, leaving to change clothes as he counts down. As that happened, a blinding light shines, summoning Vala and Luna with everyone one edge until Albion spoke. Devils, angels and more, please let me explain what all happened and why, he says as Kai starts to walk away so he can get dressed and give Kuroka the phoenix tear. Hours later, see everyone waiting and eating cakes and tea as Kuroka walks out healed, with Vala shedding a tear after explaining everything to her as well, and Kaneko crying her guts out seeing her big sister okay. But as that happens, we hear footsteps entering the training field, but we only Issei. Issei is wearing a red shirt with a silver flame design on his shoulders and gold sword design on his back. Also he has black and blue pants and silver, emerald boots with a wing design and black-yellow fingerless gloves. So I'm here, where is Kai? Issei said, turning to Rainier, who put up the barrier with Rias and the others so they can live and enjoy the show. But as they do that, Issei pulls out Ascalon and points in behind him as a black fire glows, only to show Kai using his Abaddon power and the shadow gear he took to blend with Issei's shadow. Kai is wearing a black and red shirt with a white crown design. He also wears bronze pants and red boots from his father's collection. Also he made Timat gloves of aura and fire turn a dark navy blue like normal but fingerless this time. You can't trick me, Kai, I trained, remember? Issei says as Kai laughs, turning his arm back to normal with the rest of his body. Haha, I had to give it a shot. So shall we? Kai says, walking to the other side of the field, and Issei puts Askelin away with the two getting into a fight stance. When I shoot the sky, the fight will begin. Serzex yells as the two dragon gods / devil kings nodded. Issei changed his eyes to red and black and silver and emerald. Kai changes his eyes to gold with one red and one blue with silver stars in them. The two then let out sparks of power around them as Serzex shoots the sky. Begin. The Devil King yells as the two dragons rush at each other, clashing arm to arm as they send off shockwaves of power and might. Then Kai goes for as Issei goes to block, but Kai then uses his tail to help him jump up and lands on Issei's head, making the red dragon move back as he then counters with a punch which Kai dodges, but Issei turns it to his dragon form with pod and holy and dragon energy with aura, sending a feedback cutting Kai, shocking the leader as they never knew Issei could do that. But Kiba and Gasper smile as he did a version of that to break swords or to punch Riser with the cross, giving said devil chills watching the fight. Clever sensei, but can your mind beat this? Kai says he grabs Issei's arm with his tail and charges violet and silver flames in his arms. Ah, no you don't. Issei says, using his arm to summon his boosted gear and throw Kai back into the sky, but as he does he tries to move but he can't as the gear is covered by a black dagger and violet flames. Not this again. Issei thinks as he remembers when he first fought Kai as he almost was trapped by this chain, and now it's much stronger than before. You fell for my trap, now it's time to go down, I call this Dragon X Claw. Kai yells as he rushes at Issei with she arms in a fire-like dragon mode with his own flame and his mother's along pot of him and his father, as he puts his arms across each other in a X shape as he lands like a meteor, striking him in the chest and pushing Issei into the ground. As Issei then punches him back, breaking the chain as Kai slashed she arms, cross your arms and uncross like a scissor attack, or how SAIYNS power up that movement with their arms. As he did that he land on the ground looking at the hole. He pushed Issei into yelling, "Come on sensei, you're still up, you can't trick me." Kai yells as a few minutes later the sound of a boost and divide rang out with Issei jumping out of the hole, a little dirty, but that's all. Fine Kai, eat this. Issei says, snapping his fingers, getting Kai on edge as he knows the dragon shatter but then feels drained as Issei gains a white shoulder pad as Kai feels weak. Divide, divide, divide rang out as Issei used his own power mixed with what he stole from Vela, binding him in place. Nope. Kai yells, putting his hands together, confusing all but Kaneko and Kuroka as he starts to do hand size mixed with devil and dragon magic, yelling, "Soul split flames." As soon as he says that he gets out of the bind and the divine dividing, shocking Issei only to see three Kais, shocking everyone but Kai's queen and rook. One Kai to the right had a red shirt instead of the original clothing Kai wore, and his hair is only red and red eye, and the other gold had devil wings on his back. He is Devil Kai. The Kai on the left had a blue eye opposite to the devil's red eye and the other eye gold as well, while his shirt was black and he had violet dragon wings and tail and red and black hair. He is Dragon Kai. They both still wear the Timat gloves but only one to their name, unlike the one in the middle. He had black hair and wore white and black and no Timat gloves but a wing mark on his arm and a white and a black angel wing. This is Samo Kai. What the am I looking at? Issei stated, which everyone, even Ajuka, thought as he never seen this before. Haha, what do you think sensei? This is my sage power, soul split flames separating me from all my sides and powers into 3 versions. The Devil Kai says, eager to fight as he hears laughter and feels rage from the other 2 Kais. What? He asked. Sai, couldn't you have thought of a better name? You sound like a fool, which makes us fools. Dragon Kai said, blunt as he really is like a dragon. Well, I think it's funny because a fire splits to make a wildfire or make it stronger or weaker or even calm, not deadly. Samo Kai explained as all 3 of them put away their wings, which makes it a little humorous. Samo Kai finishes. Oh, shut it. Devil says as the 3 of them turn to Issei, who just sits on a rock like Madara Uchiha. Oh, I'm sorry, was this a fight or a pick a Kai find a Kai game? Issei says, getting up, summoning the boosted gear, knowing he needs to get serious. That's it, you're gonna die, Drag user. Dragon says, rushing at him. Seems like Dragon Kai is just like Timat, haha. Tannen said, laughing until he felt cold as Timat was behind him, angry. Nope, sorry Dragon. Issei says. Dodging, but was shot from the back and through the arm with a white blast and spear from Angel in the sky. Ouch, damn it. You're lucky I'm not a mostly reincarnated devil anymore, or that would have killed me, Issei says, pulling out the spear from his right arm. Maybe look behind Hayato, Dragon says, rushing in front of his as the clash as Issei tries to counter, but Dragon uses his tail binding Issei's left arm. Now eat this, he says breathing in, building fire. Drag now, Issei says as he increased the eat, and flames of gear burning Dragon's tail, making let go. Ah! Issei yells, gut punching Dragon, causing him to let out the flames early towards the sky, and he grabs the tail, throws him. Over here, fool, a voice says as Issei looks behind him and sees Devil Kai with his red with a red flash, and with silver, red, and black sphere right behind him. Hawkeye! Devil Kai yells, launching the blast of destruction, launching Issei back and into the woods. Not bad, me, Samuel says from. Thanks, Devil says. Dragon gets up from the roof of building where Issei threw him. You could help me, you know, runt, Dragon yells with anger towards Devil. We are the same person, but to fair I needed an opening, Devil says with smile. Thanks you three, I think I figured you out, Issei walking out of the woods with his shirt torn from the back, shocking the three Kais that he is still standing. Oh yeah, bring on it, Dragon / Devil say, making Issei smirk. Boost, 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 rang out as Issei dashed past then two talking Kais as he went after Samuel Kai. As Samuel Kai put up a barrier, Issei smirked and built up a dragon shot before firing it to the sock of everyone. This is pointless, you can't break through, Samuel Kai making Issei laugh as Drake said one word, penetrate, making the dragon shot break through the barrier, hitting Samuel, causing him to fall. You see, you may be faster than the other two and have different magic, but you aren't strong without magic. You can't punch, block, or to save yourself, Issei says, looking down to Samuel Kai before turn to the other two, boosting X0. So who's next? Issei asks, teleporting in between the two ing Devil away. This should tell the difference, Issei thinks as he punches Dragon and uses a gravity spell on a rock and Dragon. You son of Frieder, Dragon says as he floats, making Team Rias and Kaneko except for Rosviavsa and Gasper cringe as they think back to Fried and what Dragon just said. Figured you're the only one of them who can't use magic, only Dragon naturally abilities like fire, Issei says as he throws the rock at Dragon, but he stops it with his wings, breaking it and punching himself to the ground so the spell breaks. Ouch, Dotker, I shouldn't have done that, Dragon says, getting up, rushing towards Issei, making him dodge and punch him away, but not before Dragon fire blasts him point blank, harming him a little. Don't forget me, a voice yells as the smoke clears from the flames of Dragon's attack. We see Devil coming out of a teleportation spell with two spheres of destruction. Trust me, I can't, Issei says, summoning Askelin, cutting the spheres before they are thrown as Issei runs towards him, cutting them and putting Devil in a headlock. I found you out. While Dragon can't use magic but is fast and strong, and Samuel is fast and great with magic, basically range, then you are the magic and strength of the group but no speed, Issei states, annoying Devil Kai until he starts to laugh. Ha! Devil continues to laugh, confusing everyone, even Kaneko and Kuroka. Son, what are you planning? Timat thinks until Devil sparks a red and silver aura covering his hand. Gasp. It can't be, Timat says aloud, making everyone look at her. What is it, Lady Timat? Ajuka asks. Yes, tell us, Vala says. That aura, I know it from one devil. Ajuka Surzex, you do as well, she says, shocking all as they realize one thing. What's so funny? Issei asks. Simple, you're half right, but we still got our power fixing those weaknesses. Right, Father, Devil says as he breaks form the grip and glows red and silver, with his body changing color to red but the sum of his skin and clothing silver, and he has black eyes and lions on his body similar to Kaya Baden, his father, when he fought Timat long ago, shocking all who knew him as this is his Hakai Oaro form. What the hell is that? Issei asks as he summons his other gauntlet. Issei, it's similar to Hakai Kane Oro, I think it's his father's form, Drake says, getting Issei's attention as he fought him in that form during the Great War. I agree with Drake, Issei, be careful, Dragon and Samuel might have similar powers. Great Red says as Issei understands. You are so right, Drake and Red, after all we all are the same and different. Devil says, sticking his hand out for a magic ring, summoning Gram. Then with blinding speed Devil knocks Issei down, cutting his face with Gram and destroying the ground, and he's to cut him again, but Issei blocks with Dragon shot in his hand, throwing Gram and Devil back. You really are damn strong, Issei says, but then feeling sudden sharp pain behind him as he can't breath, as Dragon Kai and the Kane Oro form his, grabbing his neck, crushing him. Keep your guard up, Sensei, Dragon Kai says, mocking Issei as he crushed the red dragon air flow, holding rage and power just like his mother. You Gear Longinus users make me sick because you're weak without your powers given to you, and they are powers God made or feared, you fool. Dragon says with rage. As Issei struggles, but then glows red, entering balance breaker for a split second, getting free form Dragon's grasp and getting air. Damn, looks like I owe you any dish, and Val is $0. Issei says as pissed as he lost a bet. Hell yeah, I won it, Saji and Great Red. Vala says as him Albion and Drake placed a bet Issei would need balance break, and looks like they won to the sorrow of the other two and amusement of the others. Not gonna ask punks, but now Devil. Dragon yells as he rushes at Issei, with Devil teleporting behind Issei doing the same. Really a time trap attack, fine balance breaker. Issei says going balance breaker, dodging the two with his speed, and ing Dragon back and throwing Devil towards the sky. Oh, you play that way, fine, Devil Reaper. Devil Kai yells as he focuses his power for silver and black lightning into a destruction cyclone, throwing it towards Issei. Ugh. How the did I not see this? I guess this is faster than night, so can't see it being launched, fine. Issei says as he being to boost, breaking through the cyclone. Boost, 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 boost. Rang out as the cyclone broke, and Issei flew towards Devil, slamming him towards the ground until he fell, massive pressure grabbing him and throwing him towards the ground as well. What the? Issei says, getting up slowly, seeing something terrifying. Picture this, but a little more silver and with dragon claws and light spears instead of swords. Like what you see, Issei, since Devil has the Abaddon power and dragon as well. Dragon power, guess who I got? Samuel Kai says in a Susanoo version of Kai's Samuel form. This shocks everyone as the Susanoo is powerful and looks like how Kai did once, but made out of more angel and fallen power. As everyone is shocked by this, dragon and Devil land to the right and left of the ground next to Samuel. Is that a mother ing Susanoo? Wow, just wow, you're stronger than I thought, Kai. Issei says, making all three of them smile. Thanks. They all says until they raise an eyebrow and look at each other. He means me, no me, no me. They all yell until Devil and Dragon look at Samuel. Hell no, you're ing youngest. The two yell, making Samuel get taken aback and the people watching laugh. We are the same person and same age. Samuel says, defending himself. True, but we're his main blood and power, you're the new. Devil says, shocking Dragon and angering him. Hold the I am the main one, Eve protected him since he was in diapers. Dragon says in Devil's ear, almost breaking them. Oh damn it, don't do that. And true, but while you protected him I grew in strength as he did, plus you only got stronger when he awoke his full dragon, unlike me who grows strongy when he does. Devil says, pissing Dragon off with his damn facts. You. Dragon said to the two. No, you, said Devil. No, both of you. Wait, all of us are the same person, so wouldn't that be masturbation? Samuel says, grossing out the two. No wonder you're the Samuel. Devil says, trying not to puke. Damn, I want to pound Kuroka as much as Devil wants to pound Kaneko, but that's wrong, dude. Maybe the blonde sister swings that way for videos and porn, but not us. Dragon says, grossed out, and pointing to Asia with everyone turning to her. I would never, I promise. Asia says with her face bright red as they turn back to the fight. This shit, and eat this, Issei. Devil says, holding his hand out, focusing his power. Supreme destruction. He says, trying to throw his attack, but all he throws is air as nothing is there, shocking him and making Issei and Okong laugh as they know what the move needs to work. What the? Why didn't form? He says as he tries again but fails. Why won't it form? Devil yells, annoying Dragon and making Samuel laugh from his stupidity. You can't do it unless we're merged. Dragon yells, shocking Devil. How was I supposed to know that? He says, making Samuel facepalm. I'm in a giant Susanoo version of Samuel, and I know that. Samuel Kai says, annoying Devil. Thinkin' the collider and Samuel is half the power while you are the other half. Dragon says to Devil. How about you keep your guard up? Issei yells, sneaking up on the three where they talk, stabbing Devil in the arm with Ascalon, causing all three to feel immense pain. The three yell as Issei finds out the weakness. Dragon, keep him busy. Samuel says as Dragon asks Issei away and Samuel picks up Devil. I'll hold still, I'm healing you. Samuel says as he feels pain too, but puts Devil in the Samuel and heals him. Shut up, your power may heal me but it burns. Damn, we need to merge back. Devil says, turning off Hakai Oro. Until they feel pain in the stomach as Dragon gets Ed back. I figured you three out. Issei yells. If any of you go full power you feel the same pain. Issei says as Dragon gets up slowly and flies to Samuel. He got us what now? He asks as the two look at him serious, which he understands as they all do a separate magic circle and hand sign as a bright light blinds everyone, and as it fades we see Kai falling to the ground with torn clothing and drained energy as he gets up. Damn, I shouldn't have done that, he says back on his feet. Hey, you tried, now come at me, Issei says as Kai smiles, holding the orbs of power that is silver and black with a gold and violet center with red and blue electricity and sparks. Now try to block this, Issei, Kai says as he rushes towards Issei, going for a punch as Issei goes to catch it, but then feel pain as he gets hit and throw back from the orb at point blank range. Supreme Destruction point blank version, Kai says, shocking everyone as Issei gets thrown back bruised and bloody like Kai. I am not done yet, Issei says, getting up as Kai is tired from his attack until, ugh. The two grab their heads in pain, hearing, seeing memories and voices. I will not fall, I will stand as dragon should. They hear as they get in a fighting stance, running at each other, landing each blow evenly. Punch to punch is another memory. Even if it means I will miss my mates, I will be king of this world. TL is another. You will pay beast for messing with the name of a dragon god. And last, arm to arm full of energy, sending shock waves as their eyes are their full power versions, and then the arms and boosted gear clashes. They hear and see one thing. A man in hell with tears in his eyes saying, I will prevail no matter the cost, anything for my world, mates, family and unborn. Even if it means paying the ultimate price or my name isn't. As the two are done thinking about the memory, everyone is shocked as Kai is crying out of his right eye. Why is he crying? Timat asked. Kaneko said. Wait, look, yelled Rias as they were shocked to see Issei's green left eye crying go as they say one word, Kaiser. The two whisper, stopping their attacks and whipping their tears. Issei, what do you think this? Ugh. Before Kai could finish, he was punched unconscious by Issei as he whispered, talk later in private, for now you have grown, but just so you know, in my base I used 0%, I'm proud. Issei says, making Kai happy as he falls, but Issei catches him and places him on the ground. Boost, plus, the sound of rain outside, divide, bang. The sound of power and thunder. We see Kai in a bed all alone with a few bandages at night as the thunder and rain is all he hears. Damn it. Dad, Samuel Ifrit, how do I keep on losing? Kai says, try and get up, but his injuries stop him. Son, I don't know, he is your sensei, your teacher, and your rival, plus what you both heard and saw must have made him not hold back. Agree with the bad, and after all he is Drake's host, but he controls so much power and rage, so it's nothing to him. Plus you are strong, before you were high devil rank, no, you are mid to high dragon devil rank, which is stronger than Surzex. Samuel says, trying to cheer Kai up. Listen to them, fool, I am your partner for a reason, and I choose power, not weaklings, and that's what you are. Ifrit says, cheering Kai up as he then turns, hearing a door open. Hey kid, can we talk? Issei says, outside the door with a few bandages, but not much compared to Kai. Sure thing, what's up? Kai asks as Issei closes the door, walking in, and standing by Kai, summoning both his arms. No need to play dumb, I know you saw what I did because that power was out of this world and you know it. Issei says, serious as Kai clenches his blanket, letting out sparks. Yeah, I know, but who? Is all Kai said as he looked up at Issei with tears in his eyes as he was worried. Don't know, Kai, but clenches his fist. We need to know because that will determine the cost of life or death. Issei says as thunder strikes with those words, and Kai slowly gets up. I know, which is why I will get stronger for the little one. Kai says, confusing us with the talk if a youngling, but Issei seems to know what he means. But until that time comes, I meant every word of that fight. As long as we didn't use our world-shattering power like Balance Breaker or Dragon Form, you pushed me to 0%, making me go Balance Breaker and Boost. Issei said as he began to leave, with Kai seeming to be shocked hearing that until Issei stopped with tears starting to form. Issei. What's up? Kai says, confused why Issei stopped. Well, let's just say rest, kid, because I'm proud of you. Issei said, leaving the room as Kai was taken aback, shedding a tear as his sensei saw his growth. Thanks, Issei. Kai whispered, removing his gloves for the first time in a while, and smiles as he turns his eyes to their multicolored state as he goes to sleep, with the blue flame of his gloves is by his lamb, always there for him as he sleeps soundly with a smile. Issei POV. I walked down the halls after talking to Kai, and all I felt were tears building up in my eyes as I walked outside, remembering the visions of Kaiser and the beast. Partner, are you okay? Drake asked, knowing Issei is trying not to cry. You know we're here to talk. Great Red says as Issei is now outside. Yeah, I know, guys, but right now we can talk as I fly. Issei glowing red and silver with emerald sparks. As the glow fades, issei becomes a gaunt red and silver dragon with emerald claws, and his eyes are his red emerald black silver eyes like he is in full power. Roar! Is all the area hears as issei begins to fly up into the sky. As issei then flies away, we see him soaring through the sky as he seemed stressed and needed to think. Issei, where are you going? Drake asked as issei flew towards the mountains, thinking about what he needs to do and how he must get stronger. PL.SS Protect Kaneko. Thank you, Senator. No, issei Hayadu. The memory of Kai's death flashed in his mind as he landed at the top of the mountain, turning back to human, panting out of breath with tears. Damn it! Issei yells, slamming his fist in the ground as he thinks about Kai and the visions he has been having. Issei, what wrong? A voice said as Issei heard a few footsteps, turning to see Tan and Tammet and Azazel walking out. See him. What the hell? Azazel, how did you find me? Issei asked, confused, seeing the fallen general and the two dragon kings. Simple, we sensed Drake and your power, Issei. Tannen said in a calm voice with some concern. You think we can't sense you, Tiamat yells, rushing at Issei as he closes his eyes, thinking he will get his ass beat, but then he feels a warm embrace. Partner, open your eyes. Drake says in a consoling voice. Yes, and besides, you are my level, almost higher, so she can't hurt you. Red Plunty stated. As Issei opened his eyes, he was shocked to see he wasn't being attacked but instead hugged by Tiamat, shocking the dragon. Even the leader of our faction needs a break now. Again, don't push yourself, Baka Emperor. Tiamat said, letting Issei go and helping him up. So kid, what's going through your head? Tannen asked as Issei smirked. I think we should state our return as warriors. Issei said as he snapped his fingers to let out a magic circle of dragon covering him, and when it released, Issei was in a whole new set of clothing. Issei was now in a black shirt with a red jacket with the mark of Drake on it as he held silver and gold shoulder pads and cloak. He had bronze pants with the emerald flame design and black boots with blue and red dragons on them. His new look shocked the three as Tannen knew it meant he accepted being the dragon faction leader, while Azazel knew Issei had something planned, but he felt so much power he couldn't talk. But Tiamat felt the same dominant power she felt in Drake, but stronger, which shocked her. So shall us dragons say who we are? Issei said as both gears formed. Hell yeah, partner, show them Welsh power of a leader. Drake said proudly. Indeed, let's lead our clan. Great Red said, happy that Issei has grown. POV with Kai. While this happened, we see Kai in bed as he then got up from it, grabbing his side as he got out of bed. Damn it, how? Just how I can't keep sulking, he thought as he then jolted and tried to run out east as he felt Issei turn into a dragon. But as Kai ran, he couldn't catch Issei as he was too hurt. Issei, where are it? Kai said, getting pissed as he started to have blue and orange appears, but then they fade as his aggressive Ifrit side showed as he left to bathroom. 0 minutes later, while Issei was in the sky, we hear the sound of a shower as Kai is trying to relax and calm his mind. Damn it, Ifrit. Samuel, do you have any idea what's going on? Kai asked his partners in his mind. I wish I knew, partner. I did sense Ophis during your fight, but now she's gone. Samuel said. Indeed, and you are strong, but it seems like Issei is planning something, but what? Ifrit said as him and Samuel and Kai all thought was what was going on until they heard laughter in the corner of Kai's mind as they saw Kai's father, Lord Abaddon, smiling. Oi, Dad, what's so funny? Kai said out loud as he looked at his pendant. Nothing, kiddo, just Issei's acting like me and Zex did back in the day as Devil's leader and Devil warrior. Lord Abaddon said, shocking Kai. Also might want to do something about that naked girl with you. He spoke, confusing everyone. What girl? Kai spoke till he yelled as he turned around, seeing a naked Luna with massive bigger than Kuroka and Akino's. Hey Kai, she said silently. What the hell, Luna, why are you here? Kai yelled as he looked down and went red before placing a towel around his waist. Relax. I'm here to apologize for what I did, and I thought it was empty, not used. Luna said as Kai walked past her, saw he didn't put the sigh. Shit. Okay, how about this, we talk later like tomorrow? Kai said, making Luna smile. Thank you so much, I will expect nothing less from Vala's brother-in-arms. She said, making Kai smirk as he walked away into his room, resting for the night. Next day, everyone wakes up to the sun shining as all the leaders and peerages get breakfast until a sudden dark cloud blocks the light, making Vala and Kai get up. Vala, do you feel that? Kai yelled. Hell yeah, come on everyone, follow us now. Vala said as the two dragons rushed outsides with everyone, only to see Issei, Ophis, Tiamat, and Tannen in dragon form with a young dragon with red and white scales, his son Bova and Azazel. Yo vel Kai are too ready to help get the dragon faction back on the top. Issei yelled, shocking everyone but making Kai smile as they promised to make this faction. Thanks for watching this video. You really enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow our RUINEDDRAGONARMY for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.